In the Sixth World, there are groups of criminals known as Shadowrunners who act as deniable assets for governments, megacorporations, or anyone who has the new yin. The stories of these agents for hire are known as the Fixer Files.
Thank you for joining us for another exciting episode of The Fixer Files, a Shadowrun collaborative podcast series featuring people from a bunch of different Shadowrun podcasts. My name's Adam. I'm here with some awesome, exciting people. You may recognize some of these voices, you may not, and if you don't, that's okay. We'll provide links on how to find them and listen to more stuff from these guys. I'm going to go around, we're going to introduce ourselves a little bit real quick here, and then we got a special person with us today that's going to give us a little bit of information about what's going on with this game. So, starting in the order that I feel like pointing at people, we're going to go with Chuck. What's up, man? How you doing?
Oh, hell, I'm already put on the spot. Hi, everybody. I'm Chuck. A lot of you will probably recognize me as Byronic Commando. I am on the As the Sixth World Turns, the second edition Shadowrun actual play. And I've been in a bunch of other things like Paydata for Dragon's Greed. I should be showing up on a couple of Fixer Files here pretty soon. I get around. I'm a bit loose, you know?
Okay. All right. Okay. Keeping it classy. I love it. All right. So next up, we got Aaron. Aaron.
Oh, that's me.
That is.
Yeah, I have descended from Canada to join you tonight. My name is Aaron, also known as Poultry Geist. You'll find me over at Dragon's Greed Gaming. More often than not, I run the games that get released on Mondays for Blades in the Dark, and I also was a cast member in the Shadowrun game that Adam run. We got lots of stuff coming up too, so yeah, check that out.
Yeah, by the time this drops, we may or may not have started releasing episodes of The Worst of Us. It's, I am dragging my feet with getting them done, but they're coming. It's coming. On that note, Sean, what's up, man?
Hello. Hey, nice to see you, Adam, and everybody else. Hi, Scott. Good to see you.
Ahoy.
I'm Sean. You can find me sometimes on the Dragon's Greed Gaming podcast as a player and sometimes as a GM. I'm in some Fixer Files, and then Friday, me and my friends stream on Twitch under the name 4Play. We play Dungeons & Dragons, Aliens, and soon some Avatar Legends and more Bjorg.
Yeah. Nice.
And I was also on the Shadowrun Paydata game with Adam and Aaron.
Volt!
Yeah, as my character Volt, a lot of fun. A homeless hobo magic.
All right, and then we got Scott joining us again.
I'm Scott Schletz. I'm not on anyone's podcast other than joining this every once in a while. I am a lowly freelance writer for Catalyst and do a bunch of Shadowrun writing.
Lowly. Uh-huh. All right. Yeah. Here.
Never again.
Here's the Shadowrun 5th edition core rulebook.
Yeah,
We're just going to flip through the credits. Oh, hey, look, Scott Schletz right here on material writing. Yeah.
I think, cool. You know, there's a lot of names that are written in a lot of books, and one of them that you're going to see in a handful of them, 1 or 2 or 5 or 17 or a bunch, I don't know how many. We've got an exciting guest that is joining us from a bunch of different stuff. You'll probably recognize his voice as soon as he starts talking. Cliff, thanks for coming, man. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, thanks for having me. You may recognize me as Mr. Johnson of the Arcology podcast. But yeah, I'm also Clifton. Maybe Clifton Lambert is sort of my author name. I write a lot for Shadowrun, or have written quite a lot. Maybe not as much as Scott here, because he's been doing it quite a lot more than me. But I got my foot in the door with 6th edition, and I've written a fair amount for that. But also for things like Misspent Youth, I spearheaded the most recent Misspent Youth book, Fall in Love Not in Line. And my most recent project is Hellslayers, which is a hack and slash of Morkborg, inspired by Doom and Alien and stuff like that.
No.
Yeah.
Because
that was
Morkborg and Doom belong together.
I know, right?
That is the Reese's Peanut Butter Cups of RPGs, man.
Oh, yeah.
So yeah, that was successfully funded in a Kickstarter last fall, and I'm just finishing up the last work on the book before it goes to the printer. And will be available, but you can also just check out the beta pre-release version PDF. Pay what you want on Drive Through RPG right now if you're curious. So yeah, sorry for I've worked at a plug there. I apologize. I'm just introducing myself.
No. Of course, we're gonna make sure. By the way, listeners, check the show notes. The link will be there for you. Check it out, man.
So something else that I've worked on that is not really available for the public, and I'm not sure exactly when or how it will be quite yet, because we are playtesting it for the very first time today. Is the working title for this is Shadowrun Kiss Edition, not named after the band. Please don't come after us.
Oh, I'm so wrong.
Yeah.
I was made for playing you, baby, and you were made for playing me.
Just the keep it simple Shadowrunner, right? Edition. Just a step more rules light than anarchy, even. And we're gonna kick the tires and see how it plays today. I think for the very first time ever.
Oh yes, dude! I didn't realize this.
Yeah. Why do you think I made such a
and now I am more
deal
excited.
about this, man?
Yeah, I assumed you kind of run this around with your local pals, and I did not realize that this is
Pre-alpha.
This has all been theory up until now.
I am honored. I'm excited, and I was gonna say I can't wait, but I don't even have to. We're gonna do this. Hi, I'm Adam. You might recognize me from Shadowrun Paydata. I've been doing a couple of these fixer files here and there. Shadowrun the Worst of Us, maybe you've heard it, maybe not. I don't know. I'm probably gonna edit this before that, but so whatever. But it'll be there, and some other stuff is coming up that is not yet recorded, but it will be, and I'll be there. And I'm excited about it. So, without further ado, let's do this thing. Let's get in there.
Yes.
So we're playing this very rules light version of Shadowrun. It should hopefully feel a bit like Shadowrun. We're still rolling 6-siders and trying to get hits, but the rules are very simplified. Just to go over the real basics, we're just going to play through some scenes, narrate what we're doing, roll some dice when it comes down to it, just like any other role-playing game. There's 2 main tests in this game. One of them is called simple tests, which you might think of as not really a test at all, but it's when something comes up and you're wondering, will this action be successful? And if the answer is obviously yes, because it's been set up by something you have, or it just the keywords involved just make it make sense, then it just works and we don't roll dice. The test is sort of checking against the fiction in our narration to see if it makes sense. If it's riskier than that, then we do a risky test, which involves rolling dice. So you roll multiple d6s, usually smaller than a normal Shadowrun dice pool. And if you get no hits, you fail and things get worse. Enemies get an edge, or your opponents do, if that's applicable. 1 hit is barely success, but probably with a complication or reduced effect. 2 hits are kind of what you need for a basic success. And 3 or more hits, you get to choose whether you either get an extra effect or gain a point of edge. And edge is a thing that you can only have 1 of at a time, use it or lose it, and you can spend it to avoid damage or get 4 extra dice on a roll.
Cool.
There's more aspects of it that'll come up as we go, but that's the core system.
Cool. It sounds simple. So we're off to a great start.
If we want to dive into character creation,
Oh yeah.
I'm ready as long as you guys go before me, because my
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Everybody else gets to turn their own work in first.
yeah.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
It's not that. It's just I want to make sure, because this is a playtest, I want to make sure that we cover all the bases just to get a taste of everything. And I've got so many different, just weird characters bouncing around in my head all day long that any of them can sneak out. So I don't want to take something that somebody else is interested in. I can just unleash these the voices, on everyone. So go ahead, you guys pick first, and then I'll jump in at the end.
I think maybe we'll go through, if you don't mind, we'll go through the steps all together as a group, but maybe go around as we do each step.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Works for me.
Perfect.
One of the first things you do with character creation is you choose an archetype or 2 if you're going to kind of spread things out a bit. An archetype is a bit like a character class, I guess. It's a group of skills, kind of defines like what you get to roll the extra dice for. There's also a set of abilities that go with it. So they're pretty much all the classic Shadowrun archetypes: Decker, Face, Mage, Physical Adept, Rigger, Shaman, Street Samurai, or Technomancer. And you can either focus on one archetype and get it a rating of 3, or choose 2 archetypes, one that gets a rating of 2 and one that has a rating of 1. And some of them can't be combined. I think for the playtest, it might be best if you lean into single archetypes, but if you want to try out multi-classing, so to speak, I'm not going to dissuade you.
Cool.
Maybe at least one person.
I've already got like the bones for my character now, and it is a single archetype. So I'm going to be like just blood simple in my character creation on this one.
What is your archetype that you're going to go with then?
Street Sam.
Okay, cool. So the main thing that you do that you get the bonus dice for your archetype are athletics, ranged and melee combat, stealth, and anything involving your cybernetic enhancements.
Of which I have one.
Yep, and we'll get to some of those later. But since you're going single archetype, just write down that you are a street samurai with a rating of 3.
3.
So whenever you roll a street samurai related test, you would add 3 dice to it. So who's next?
You know what? I'll take a stab at it. Oh, no. If you got it, Sean.
Okay.
You have to go before me.
Yeah, now you. So since I'm going before Aaron, I will say that I'm going face, rating 3.
Awesome. As a face, your dice come into play with negotiation, deception, disguise, impersonation, interrogation, and intimidation, and just dealing with people.
All right, fantastic.
Write down that you are a face with a rating of 3. And who's next?
Go, Aaron. It's your birthday.
Okay. It's not my birthday. My birthday is so far away.
Mine too.
Actually, so I am thinking of actually doing the split archetype, and it's mostly because I kind of feel like it's gonna work out well for the and I want to see what it's like. I think
Sure, why not?
Fun. Yeah. So I'm gonna do a Decker Rigger split.
Cool. Are you going Decker first at 2 or Rigger?
Decker at 2 and Rigger at 1.
All right. We got Scott and Adam yet for the step 1.
I'll go Mage 3. Keep
Awesome.
another straight class. I'll play with that one.
Again, you know what mages are, but in the context of this, your mage dice come into play with casting, countering, and dispelling spells, summoning and binding elementals, and projecting to the astral plane.
Excellent.
I'll take the Physad.
The Physad, martial arts, athletics, stealth, archery,
Oh,
and
yeah.
thrown weapons, ninja stuff with some magic.
yeah.
The Decker and Rigger things, I'll read those over. The Decker abilities apply to quickly searching for information, hacking computer systems, intercepting wireless comms, taking control of devices, and damaging electronic systems. And Rigger's skills apply to driving, piloting, using drones, engineering, demolitions, and tinkering with tech.
Hell yeah.
There's definitely some overlap in that Venn diagram too, but yeah,
Good solid mix.
they don't stack. All right, so that was step 1. The next thing is to assign your attributes. In this game, we have 3 attributes: physical, social, and tech. And they each start with a rating of 2. And then you have 4 more points that you can assign amongst those 3 on a 1-for-1 basis. These are sort of your baseline dice rolls you use for stuff, whether or not you have an archetype that applies to it.
So there's 4 points to distribute?
Yes. So you can
Okay.
do like a 4-3-3 or a 6-2-2.
I split mine around already. And
Oh, yeah.
I did a 3-2-2, physical, social, tech. But because I'm a mage, I had to swap out for my tech's automatically a 2, and my tech is actually magic now. And my magic is a 5.
Okay.
Can you have a 0? Can I go 4-4-0?
No, they all start at 2, and then you have 4 points that you can add to the 3 amongst them to split amongst them.
Okay.
The minimum is 2. You can't. It doesn't go lower than that.
Yeah, and it makes sense. Like in D&D or Pathfinder, you start at 10 and maybe get down to an 8, but like any lower than that, and you're literally like not capable of like existing.
Yeah, you physical of 1, like your dude's a lima bean. Like
A
you can't
cat will
go
kill
anywhere.
you.
Yeah.
Yeah. You sneeze too hard and you're like, ow, my back.
Ooh, all my ribs
That shit
broke.
actually happens, man.
I know.
Paper bones.
Oh my God, I know.
Old.
Yeah.
Oh.
And just to make sure, Cliff, I did that right, correct?
Yeah, that sounds correct to me.
Now, as a physical adept, it says here my magic attribute. I am awakened, but unlike mages or shamans, I don't use the magic attribute for my abilities. So I still have the tech?
Yep.
Okay, so I'm going to leave that at 2 because my character, he doesn't care. He doesn't care enough to operate with that stuff beyond just the basic level. Like, he can make calls and interact with the things around him, but he can't hack anything. My social's at a 3, my physical's at a 5.
But and to kind of go over what these attributes mean, just to make them super clear, they should be fairly obvious from the names, but just to make it explicit, physical covers any test that involves moving your body or testing your resilience against harm or knowing stuff about the physical world. Social covers social interactions of any kind or knowing stuff about people. And tech is using high-tech stuff, including hacking, rigging, circumventing security systems, fixing stuff, knowing stuff about technology. And again, if you have a magic attribute, that applies to specifically using some of your magic stuff.
Does it also apply to knowing about magic stuff?
It does, yes.
So I know you said not to talk about the rules as we're going, but I think that's really cool. I
don't
like
think I said
that I can be a strong guy and I don't have to have like separate points in intelligence stuff to be able to go like, see that right there? You see that deltoid? I know this isn't a deltoid. You see that deltoid? Like, I like that. That's cool.
No, chatting about the rules is fine. Just what I don't want is a brainstorming session about
Yes.
rules.
Oh yeah. Oh
So-
yeah.
Okay, I'll be super easy too, because my dude don't care about talking and he don't care about hacking. If he's gonna do any hacking, it's with his katana, and it's
Alright.
gonna be
Yeah, I love
human
it.
beings. So social is base, but does that mean that I can have like physical 6 and then tech 2?
Yeah, that would be essentially fully min-maxed into physical.
Done.
That's how you want your Street Sam built.
I mean, the guy's not even gonna be able to talk, so hey.
So you see this cyberware? I don't know what the hell it is, but man, is it good. I got the expensive one.
Tink, tink, tink.
So I think we got the attributes covered. Was there anyone else who needed to
Yeah.
I'll-
I'll say mine out loud. I have a physical of 2. It's not a very strong man. A social of 3. He's charming a little bit, but he's attack of 5. So it's a 2, 3, 5 split for me.
For me, it's Phys 3, Social 5, and Tech 2.
All right. Next thing to do is to get your gear, and you choose one ability from each of your archetypes. So for most of you, that means you just get one ability. But since one of you doubled up, you get 2 abilities.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Here you go.
And for the gear, do you just pick one of those, or do you just that's all the gear you get?
The gear, you just get all that gear.
Okay.
In some cases, you choose one from a couple of options.
So if it's like a melee, I saw with the melee weapon or a ranged weapon. Okay.
Yeah, and if you're more or less multi-classing, you don't get to double up on stuff you would double up on. You just, pick one for that category.
Okay. So does that include weapons? So I wouldn't get 2 weapons. I still only have 1.
Yes, that'd be correct. You wouldn't get
Okay.
extra weapons.
No worries. I'm just checking.
And some of this I'm kind of making up as I go along. It's not explicit in the written rules. So if you want to call me out for that, go for it. But
Like, that's what
I-
you're
I-
at.
charged.
I did have a question about attributes, actually.
Yeah.
Driving. Is that a physical test or a tech test?
Ooh, good question.
It depends, I guess.
Depends on whether you're
Like,
driving or rigging.
If you're jacked in or controlling a drone, it's probably a tech test. If you're not rigging, it's probably a physical test.
Okay.
There you go. Dude, it
Nice.
makes perfect sense.
But again, that's just my call in the moment. This game sort of encourages you guys to make up the answer you need on the spot, and hopefully you stick with it. Or if it doesn't work, change it later. Just don't worry too much about being super specific about following the rules.
Narrate it in a cool way.
Well, I like the one thing you said right at the top, which is only use a rule if you need to use a rule. Otherwise, just keep going. I'm paraphrasing, obviously.
That's a good paraphrase.
Mhm.
All right.
I like that my armor is described specifically as skin tight. That's perfect for this.
I have rugged.
Stupid, sexy Flanders.
Rugged is nice because there's a certain spells that do acid damage that actually permanently damages armor that is not rugged. So
Oh, well, okay.
I don't
then.
know if that's going to come up, but
You never know.
So yeah, looking around at your abilities, you typically were going to get a comlink or a cyber deck or something. Probably get some armor, a weapon choice, and then some kind of archetype specific stuff. So Scott, you're the mage. You're going to have a spell fetish.
Chose
I
mana
really
ball.
like spells.
Got my Viper, Sliver Gun, Lion Coat. Yeah, I grabbed the stuff.
My comlink as Street Samurai is listed as XXX.
Yeah,
It means
just make up a
that
name
means
for
it's-
it.
That means it's pornography.
I mean,
So yeah,
that's
just
just a
following
lot
the
of
Shadowrun tradition of putting 3 X's in for placeholder text, so later on someone can make fun of
That's
me
fine.
for leaving it in later.
That's part of the game.
So it's a Control F thing. So if I Control F and look for the triple X's, then I can just find hopefully
know
the
it's
things that I need.
that's got to be real
on.
awkward when people walk in on your work, man.
Yeah, I got this habit, and if you've ever listened to anything that I make, you know that I am the master of the tangent and rudely interrupting everyone. Yeah, man, I used to work at a, you know what? Now that it's defunct, I'm just gonna flat out say it. I worked at Blockbuster Video back in the day, and I remember one time I had this guy come in. He was all like, "Hey, do you have XXX movies?" And I'm like, "Yeah. Do you need the one that's got Vin Diesel or the one with Ice Cube?" And the guy's like, "No, like pornography." And I was like, no, dude, we don't have that here. You know, you got to go to Family Video. They've got the porn. But that's it. That's the whole story.
I don't know if it was like that everywhere, but the Family Video around me, like the bathroom was always like you kind of had to walk almost partially past the porn section.
Yep.
Oh, you had to go beyond
yeah.
the curtain.
The little black curtain that you had to just kind of ignore as you walk past.
It was kind of like an open doorway to the side. Like you couldn't go to the bathroom without seeing
Oh man,
just seemed
the
an odd
Family
choice
Video
to
by
me.
me. The Family Video by me that went under, because I guess I don't know if they're all gone or if some of them are gone or what, is a weed store now. You can buy weed there.
Nice.
Nice. That's like every store in Canada.
Oh,
Swap out
yeah?
dispensary for.
Basically, no.
I'm
So
waiting.
for
I'm
my-
waiting for the day that the dispensaries start doing video rentals, and then it's all just going to come right back.
Hell yeah.
So if you had
Or
a
the
chance to
dispensaries
jot
can
down
ship
your
I
Yes,
did
yes.
jot down my abilities here. I'm going to talk
gear
about
and
it.
your abilities. Each of you get to pick mostly one ability. Who wants to talk about abilities here?
I chose counterspelling expert. It was the
Awesome.
first thing. I feel like we're playing with this. We're playing with these options, so I figured out, run with the first one. Looks interesting. Looks like it'll be something fun to play with. Couple extra dice when I'm trying to counter someone else's spells coming at us.
Yeah, that could definitely come in handy.
For my physical adept, I chose improved athletics. Gives me 2 extra dice on athletics tests, which include things like climbing, jumping, running, swimming, and playing sports.
Cool.
Nice.
Sounds like a cool summer camp too.
Just
It sounds like
dunking
a
on
great
people.
time. Let me tell you, this character is the first one that gets picked for all of the group sports.
Well, mine has the muscle placement. It gives me a +1 d6 for risky tests, and I also do +1 close quarters damage. I'm the one that you don't want to pick a fight with.
Nice.
Nice.
Aaron, did you want to go first this time, or
I'll go first this time.
okay? We'll trade off, right?
Yeah, no worries. So for the Decker ability, I picked Tactical Support, which means when I activate it, runners within 100 meters get either a bonus to their offense, 1d6, an additional die for physical and social attacks, or +2d6 for matrix attacks, or defensive, and then your physical attacks go up or go down by 1. Means you can take more damage or take away more damage. That's the Decker ability. And for the Rigger, I just went for the upgraded RCC. I want that Radio Shack RCC.
Yeah.
And Blockbuster and Radio Shack. How old are we?
How old is this game?
We're old, okay. So yeah, I think since it's the first time it's come up regarding damage and soak, the way damage works in this game is everyone and everything has 10 hit points as your condition monitor.
Okay.
It's just one condition monitor. There's no separate physical or stun or whatever. When you take damage, you may reduce it by a certain amount if you have a soak that applies. There's no dice rolling for the soak. It's just a flat number off the damage. Once your box fills up, depending on the last thing that sort of finishes you off, affects how you go down.
Okay.
You can do damage with attacks. You can do damage with social attacks as well. So you can actually
Sean's
intimidate
gonna hurt
or
my feelings.
hurt someone's feelings into
I will
stopping wanting
insult
to fight
everything about you.
Social damage. I'm
Yeah.
going
Dude,
to
that's cool.
Tech attacks only work against machines and devices or people with at least 2 pieces of cyberware.
Okay.
For my ability, I chose Scathing Insults, which gives me +1 damage to social attacks.
There we go.
Dude, perfect segue. Look at that.
Right?
All right,
That's really
easy.
cool. I love that.
We just
I love that.
moved right into it, yo.
So you could beat the crap out of somebody and then just yell at them until they're like, "I give up." It makes perfect sense.
You're worthless. Money.
You smell bad too.
The worst.
Scott, I'm not sure if you saw on page, I want to say it's 39 or 40 is a list of spells.
Yep, I picked 3, it said pick 3, so I chose 3.
Awesome.
A mana bolt, a mana ball to see how area effect and how a direct works, and then control thoughts because that's often the most abused spell in Shadowrun. So I'll see how
Yeah.
badly it turns out in this version.
Oh, it was a great spell.
Yeah.
All right, so we're basically almost done. The next stage is determine personal details. You choose your meta type, your personality, your looks and lifestyle. This is pretty much all kind of narrative keyword stuff. whether you're a dwarf or a troll, you still have the same range of attributes and abilities. It's just it might come into play for different social situations or fitting into certain spots physically. A dwarf is going to be able to go some places trolls can't, but that's about really all it comes into play for. So yeah, feel free to define some of those or think of those as we go. As you're doing it, you each have 2 contacts. They're people you do business with.
Like fences to sell stuff for you and just to get gear you've taken. But and if you want to get a piece of equipment or you want to get cyberware, you have to have the right contact for it.
Yeah, this being a one-shot is probably not going to come into play much, but who knows?
I got a quick question. While I'm drawing up my character sheet on this, what appears to be an invisible pad of paper, the wound penalties, does that exist in this or no?
I don't think so.
Cool. So
No,
I'm just going to draw
there's
up my
nothing
10
in there
boxes.
for it. Yep.
Cool.
Which makes sense. We got rather small dice pools.
Yeah.
They don't need to be affected. I chose my meta type to be elf. My personality is callous. My looks are average, and I have a low lifestyle. I just went with simple things along the way just to kind of build the basics.
Nice.
Sounds good.
Made a beat cop and a talismonger as contact.
Ooh. My guy's name is Ward Kindly Kingsley. He is a human. He is a large, rotund man and is known to be quite friendly. That's what I got. His contacts are Sir Huckleberry, a famous con artist, and Madam Web, a failed actress.
A failed movie. Whoops.
Wow.
Got him.
A little
How
rude.
topical. Take that, Sony, with your movies.
Listen, we have to take the podcast somehow.
Yeah.
It's a good point.
Oh, man. Make some references to some stuff that's from a totally different time so that we get confused. Hey, you guys, Barbara Bush? Let's see. My guy, I'm going to be a dwarf because I like dwarves. He's a physical adept, I already said that. His name is Luther, and his last name... No. He's known as Luther Kneecaps, is his alias, Kneecaps, and his last name is...
Vandros.
We already said that, and I said no. He doesn't even know. It's been so long since anybody's called him by anything other than Kneecaps. So his last name... Stop it! Oh man, I don't know. I'll come up with something. It'll be silly, but yeah. So he's he's a dwarf. Here's the thing: he's used his physical adept abilities to excel in his field before they found out that he was a physical adept, which is against the rules, and he cheated. He's a luchador.
Ooh, rad!
I thought he used it to be able to reach the top shelf.
He's
got the bonus to athletics, so he can climb right up there, no problem. But no, he used a luchador, and then somebody realized, like, you shouldn't be able to jump that high. I don't care how strong your legs are, you should not be able to jump that high. And then they did the assensing thing, and they found out, and then he got kind of axed, and now he's trying to make ends meet through crime.
Using his luchador abilities.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Amazing.
I like Lucha Libre.
So which one of us gets to throw him like the fastball special?
Probably
you.
Probably you.
I'm the one with physical 6, so I'd be able to get away with it.
I actually have a question there about gear. On the rigger gear list, it has a ride, and then it also has drones. So I pick one of those, or do I get a car and a drone?
You get a car and a drone.
Hell yeah.
Rad.
That's awesome.
So I'm afraid the car probably won't come into play in this mission, but you'll get some other cool things to do that will hopefully make up for it.
No worries.
He's got a drone. He'll be fine.
Yeah, I picked the Doberman drone, and I picked the van.
Smart.
Yeah, it's a
Doberman
big old
drone.
It is a Doberman drone.
That's cool. That's cool.
Is it a Ford van?
It's not a Ford van, because I'm not playing as Jacques Millard. I'm
Oh
playing
no.
It's a two-trick pony.
It's a Sprinter. It's a Sprinter van.
There you go.
As y'all are sort of going through these details, feel free to take a look at page 26 past the archetypes. It's the page with the qualities. You have the option to not take any qualities, or you can take a positive and a negative quality. If you take one, you have to take the other. But yeah, feel free to choose those if you want or not.
I took guts so that Sean can't insult me near as much as he's normally going to. And then sensitive system, because I don't plan on ever getting cyberware.
All right.
I live and die by my cyberware.
Yes, you do. I took the big and tough positive drawback because he's just a big guy. So that's a -1 soak on physical damage. And for my negative, I'm gonna take combat paralysis. He's not very combat savvy.
Oh, that's nice. That's a good one. I like it, especially in this system.
It's a fun one to RP.
Yeah, in this system, it's not as debilitating as it might be in normal Shadowrun.
Yes, yeah.
Nice when you just choose somebody else. Somebody else go first.
I have a feeling a certain dwarven luchador is going to take distinctive style, but
I thought about it, and then I thought, you know what? That's too obvious. He's got a fragile ego.
I believe it.
Oh.
Yeah, he likes to act tough.
On too long.
Yeah, it's the short jokes, no problem, all day, every day. But something like you're an idiot, he'll be like, I'm not an idiot, So the fragile ego is what I got, and then for the positive quality, I took the agile defender. It seems perfect for him. So agile defender here, it says once per scene, you can improve your soak against a single instance of physical damage by 1. You may spend 1 edge to refresh this quality, allowing you to improve your soak another time.
Nice. I chose, I think I'm pronouncing it right, eidetic memory.
Eidetic memory, yeah.
Okay, sweet. Never forget anything. And then I chose glass jaw, so my physical soak is 1 worse.
There you go.
You're just gonna hide behind me. Basically.
I'm just a small guy. It's like, oh, you want to fight me? You're gonna have to fight my fucking big ass fucking friend over here. Look at his goddamn arms.
And I'm gonna be super intimidating. My guy, he only goes by his call sign, Taka. He is an escaped cyber warrior, basically, where his entire personality has been wiped. He has the slots for data softs that get stuck in his head of targets and attack vectors and such. And so that he goes on a mission, he completes the mission, which is usually an assassination, and then he reports back to base. One day he got a little zapped in the head by something, and he never returned to base. So the good news is he's completely free of his megacorp wetware overlords. The bad news is all of his tech has now started to fall apart. So the only thing he has that still works, because it's BioWare, is his muscle replacement. Everything else that's actual cybernetics, they're all falling apart. He can't speak, not because his cyber skull or something is busted, but he does have a mask. That's where the respirator and stuff is. But also, since he has no personality, they wiped his ability to speak anyway.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah. So
it really sucks to be that guy.
Yeah.
He would never know. Like RoboCop, occasionally a flash from his previous life will kind of strike him a little bit, and he'll freeze some if he's not careful. Yeah, but for the most part, he's a Bunraku, if you guys know what that is.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
He's the beat-ass Bunraku.
So, yeah, you're going to be you're going to, you want to pick a fight with me and my big friend here, and the only thing he's going to do is just draw that katana on the side and then go to a ready stance, and then, yeah, that's about all you get before you get sliced.
Have to rethink throwing them towards you in case you just literally commit murder in broad daylight.
Yeah.
This negative quality is distinctive style because he's mostly cybernetic. He's got the armor jacket that kind of covers some of that up, and his head is still mostly human, but the rest of his body is almost entirely cybernetic. So he's got the jacket to kind of cover that up. He figured out that was the only way he was going to be able to get around without being noticeable.
It's like when Master Chief went undercover in the TARP. Yeah.
What?
No one knows who that is.
No one.
Disagree.
But anyways, positive quality is agile defender. So when I say that this dude is straight cybered, straight wired for melee, Street Sam only, I'm dead serious. If anybody gets too close to me, I'm turning them to chicken nuggets. That's it.
Heck yeah.
It's the go mode.
all right. And one of the sort of last things, other than maybe coming up with a street name or something, for some of you who haven't yet, is you can roll a d6, and that times 1,000 million is how much extra cash you've got to spend on other stuff. The gear list is not super complete, but there's a fair amount of stuff kind of toward the end. I think the person who's playing the Decker/Rigger, you might want to look at the software. Those are going to cost some new yen. Might be worth spending some money on your character. The hacking and RCC programs are 500 new yen each. agents and auto sauce are typically more expensive. If you wanted to buy extra drones, I think in general, I don't want to be too in minutia about exactly which items you have. So in general, when it comes to basic gadgets and gear and tools and stuff that aren't like super high-end expensive things like a cyber deck, if it's reasonable to assume your character would have it on them, we can just say you've got it. I don't want to get too much involved with taking an extra half an hour for people to write up gear lists.
Right.
To cover, to make sure you have a flashlight and a fake cred stick. You probably don't have the money to afford, cybernetic upgrades at this stage.
Oh, absolutely not.
Got like 6K new yen.
Yeah.
Different armor or an additional weapon or some software for your RCC, all those might be things you might want to consider spending some of your starter cash on.
I guess I'll just introduce my character. He's also a dwarf.
Nice.
His name is Borin, and he goes by Smirk. For description, I went with friendly, gregarious, and a smooth criminal, if you will. Slick back hair, broad shoulders. He's got a button-down shirt that's always opened at the chest with chest hair showing.
Nice.
Little gold chain around his neck. He's going for a very specific look.
So, actual slick back then.
Yeah.
Slick back.
Oh,
That's what I said. Slick back.
You gotta say the whole thing. It's a pimp named Slickback.
it's a dwarf named Slickback. All right. So this guy here is Luther, a.k.a. Kneecaps Copeland. I came up with a name. He is a dwarf. He is exactly the same height as your dwarf because I feel like it. And he was a luchador. He's not anymore. He still wears the suit. He doesn't wear the mask anymore, though, because he's, put that behind him. But the suit's got armor to it, so he still wears it.
Nice.
He is habitually cleanly shaved, so he's got no facial hair, head shaved. He's got big, crazy, bushy eyebrows, though. He's got a bunch of scars and stuff like that from a rough life, and his suit, think The Running Man, the movie The Running Man, like Arnold Schwarzenegger character in The Running Man. That outfit, basically, is what he's got on.
We'll say after we meet the first time, Borin immediately, when he goes home, puts little inserts in his shoes, so he's just an inch tall.
Damn it.
Oh.
Okay.
Yeah, as I said before, my character's name is Ward Kinsley. It goes by Kindly. He kind of looks like those hikers that you run into when you play Pokemon. He's just one of those big rotund mans. He's got a cargo vest on and a pair of cargo shorts. He only stands out in the crowd because this is Shadowrun, but you might see him on vacation if you go up north.
He looks like a throwback, 70 years back.
So, we ready to do this?
Let's do it.
Yeah!
All right, so we have a team of Shadowrunners here, ready to do a Shadowrun.
Hell yeah.
And I thought it would be fun to do something a little over the top, I guess. So here's the job that you've accepted. We're going to skip through the whole meeting with the Johnson and just kind of get into the action here. Sao Paulo is a place where the Big Ten Corps, largely is with a bit of a coup by Az Technology, got a space elevator built. It goes up to a big old hub space station called the Horizon Nexus. Supposedly, it's for all Omega Corps and for the Earth to benefit from, but largely Az Technology benefits mostly from all. There's another Az Technology space station somewhere up there that is doing some weird magical research, and you need to go extract the lead researcher from there, Dr. Elena Valerie. In order to get there, you're going to need to hitch a ride on the space elevator. Now, the port where you can get on the space elevator is way too heavily secured. So you're going to have to jump off of a stealth blimp at high altitude.
Fuck yeah.
And pilot some little Nightwing sort of glider jetpack thingies to do match velocities and latch onto and board the space elevator, which is essentially a big old cylindrical train that goes all the way up into space on carbon nanotube rails. Yeah, so you can essentially hitch a ride and get onto that in a higher altitude where there's essentially a lot less scrutiny, because who the heck would do such a thing? Once you've hitched a ride on the space elevator, you can either ride on the outside or sneak your way in. And once it gets to the Horizon Nexus space station, you'll need to either infiltrate and sneak through the space station or do a stealthy spacewalk to steal one of the shuttles that you will then be able to use to travel to the Atrium Station, which is Az Technology's secret magical research base. You've got the coordinates, so assuming you can pull that off, you can get there. So you need to then board the space station, do what you got to do to get Elena Valerie in your custody, whether she wants to be or not, and get an escape pod or something and go back to Earth.
I am so pumped. Holy shit. Yes.
Dr. Elena Valerie is a hermetic magician, a magical researcher who's worked for various prestigious positions in multiple megacorps. So what she's doing in space, that seems curious, because you can't really do magic in space, right?
That's what I was wondering about that, but okay.
So the scene is that you are all sort of strapped in riding on this Soderkrupp Schattendrache, a state-of-the-art stealth blimp that has essentially like full ruthenium polymer gondola and various other stealth technology. And you're all up there with your various equipment, everything except for vehicles. Each of you has your own sort of portable hang glider backpack thing. It's an Artemis Nightwing. And some basic gear for surviving in higher altitude, low oxygen. I'd like to stress that you do not have spacesuits.
Okay.
Keep that in mind. A spacesuit is not what you have. If you go into a vacuum, if you ride on the outside of a space elevator wearing what you're wearing now, you will die.
Okay.
So you're all hanging out up there in this little platform underneath the stealth blimp gondola. I've been waiting there for some time. It was a long ride. You've got all your gear. You're ready to go. You get the green light. A bunch of, your data predictions for when the space elevator is approaching and arriving, and the velocity calculations and all that. And it's all seeming very real right now. Looking down at the cloud cover below you with the carbon nanofiber space elevator rail going up above to the stars beyond.
I've already jumped.
Oh shit!
No fear, motherfuckers.
No fear, no thought.
About time to jump. One of you jumps a bit early, but you have a bit of control over your descent. But yeah, the space elevator again begins to break the clouds. It's this sort of large cylindrical multi-car train, more or less, that surrounds this big tube. And there are passenger cars and there's cargo cars. There's a bunch of stuff that's being shipped up to supply and bring personnel up to the space station that is the Horizon Nexus.
Oh man.
And it is going pretty fast. So as each of you, I guess one of you is quite eager to jump off and go.
As soon as I got the green light, yeah, out the door. I'm on mission, man.
It's pretty windy up here, more than you expect, because the altitude makes the atmosphere a bit thin. But that also means that it's a little bit more difficult to maneuver even with these glider packs. But they are powered as well. It's not going to be just a matter of like flying up to the space elevator, because if you just fly up to it, you will go splat.
Right.
Are these gliders something I could jack into?
Yes.
Okay, good to know.
Can you jack into all of them?
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. Oh no.
Well, that's a good question. So I do have the maneuvering autosoft. If I could access this with the RCC, in theory, I could control 2 of them. I think.
Yeah, if anyone's particularly nervous about it, they might be willing to have the rigger control them.
Yes, please control mine.
Yes, I'm terrible with technology. Taka's already out. He's ignoring us.
For the initial approach, flying to the space elevator, let's try out our dice rolling here and have a risky test. This will be a physical test. Or if you're a rigger, it's a tech test with your piloting. I think in most cases people will just be rolling their physical. Anyone who's relying on the RCC can benefit from that.
So my maneuvering is 2. So I have a rating 2 maneuver. So that I think that would add 2 dice to their test.
I think they're going to have a pilot rating of 2. So you'd roll 4 dice for the drone piloted ones.
Yeah, I don't know if that's better than what you got, but
Seeing some fun dice rolls here. Sco.
4 is better than 2.
True.
Yeah. I think since we're still getting to know each character, why don't you each describe how many hits you got, and also again mention your character's name and a little really brief description as well as your archetype.
Okay, so Taka, being human Street Sam. Street Sam says 3 dice because of that the athletics. Physical of 6, so that's an additional 6 dice there, so that's 9. And then muscle replacement gives me an additional D6 for risky rolls. Grand total of 10. Yeah?
Yeah.
All right. Fire. 1 hit.
Wow.
10 dice. 1 hit.
This is a
You know what,
great
that makes
start.
sense though. You jumped early. Something bad.
I did. I did.
this dice roller is crazy.
I want to know what does I don't know if we even know your guy's name because he's never spoken before. He just kind of keeps showing up at jobs.
He's got a name tag.
He's actually he does. Underneath his jacket, part of the cybernetic chest plating that he's got going on, he has the kanji for Taka right there.
I have no idea what that says.
It means hawk in Japanese. So rather ironic that the guy whose name is Hawk is about to fail flying through the air.
Oh boy.
And the rest of us call him kanji.
I call him loudmouth generally, but Luther, aka Kneecaps Copeland, jumps out of this stealth blimp, deploys I'm guessing the wings snap out, and whatever kind of turbine engines on the back of this thing that propels him. He's used to flying. He's one of those acrobatic type luchadors. Well, he was. Dives out and he's trying to make it look cool, but the issue is with my 10 dice, I also got 1 hit. Ridiculous. He tries to showboat, and here's the deal: that the atmosphere's thin, and he's not doing it under his own power. It does not go.
All right, so yeah, 1 hit is not the worst, but yeah, this
It's a
does
second
not mean you
worst.
succeeded. Yeah,
Right behind him is the worst, because as Advent, the elven mage, grabs this backpack thing and kind of puts it on, he looks and is like, all right, the drone's going to pilot this, right? And he just jumps out and then goes to press the button for the drone to pilot it and just starts falling.
yeah. Somehow you've activated the manual control thing, which has deactivated the drone or something, and you're just plummeting. Yep, it's not quite going the right trajectory or the speed you want at the moment. You're definitely falling. Yes.
It's the shortest job ever.
So Ward kindly is just like, oh geez, fellas, okay, I guess I'm gonna jump out now. And he's like a huge dude. He's wearing like a baby Bjorn with the Doberman drone strapped to his chest.
Love it.
And he jacks into this thing and he leaps out. So I roll 5 die for my tech plus 1 for my rigor. Do I add any die for the RCC bonus? I guess no, because this is my vehicle control rig.
Yeah.
So I'm rolling 7 die. 2 hits. So
There you go.
Yeah, you're doing good, and you look good doing it. You're
yeah.
Nice.
Does 1 hit pass?
It's a yes but sort of thing. So
Oh, okay. I'll take yes, but I was like,
gives-
fuck.
in a conflict, it would give an edge to the opposition. That doesn't really apply here. So I'm just making a mental note. You're not in the greatest position, but you're not doing as bad as the mage.
Yeah. Also, yeah, I will intervene with the mage once everyone's had a roll. I'll try and do an action to stop that.
I imagine Taka is kind of losing control of himself as he's going for this gondola. You said they're like train cars, essentially, right?
Yeah, sort of essentially like cylindrical segments, various ones designed for different purposes. Again, some of them are definitely passenger ones with windows looking out. Some of them are very obviously more industrial cargo platform things.
So, in an effort to try to regain control, as soon as he thinks he can pass by close enough to this train, he's going to pull out his sword and he's going to try and catch himself by sticking the sword into one of those capsules so that he's hooked on. He hangs on and pulls himself back on there and uses that to right himself as he's hanging on to it.
All right, you're coming to stick the landing. You don't have a lot of control over exactly where you're landing on the train. It's going to be kind of in the middle, roughly, just past the main passenger areas. We're starting to get in more of the engineering section before the cargo sections are. So that's about where you're going to end up if things go well for you.
Fingers crossed.
Why don't you go ahead and make a physical roll with your Street Samurai bonus to see how you stick the landing.
Got it. Let's not do that, Chuck. There we go. All right, round 2.
And you realize as you're approaching, you're coming in a bit faster than you thought you were.
So that's going to be 9. Would you say this is a risky roll?
Yes.
That's going to be 10 then. Let's see if 10 can not fail me this time. Again, 1 hit.
Crap.
What? I hate
Big
you.
oof.
I'm gonna break out these physical dice.
All right, so you do stick the landing, but you hit hard and sort of scrape and flail, barely maintain control, smack against the thing several times. You take 6 damage, minus your soak.
That is rough.
Damn.
Your armor does help you, but yeah, that was a rough landing. You're hanging on the thing, but only just barely. That was tough. Your Nightwing backpack thing has been smashed and broken, and most of it kind of trailing in pieces. Some of it tingling a bit in your legs. It's not pretty, but you didn't go splat. So
I'm going to go ahead and use my Agile Defender on this because 6 damage all at once sucks.
okay.
So instead of 6, that should be 5 if I'm reading my directions correctly.
Yeah, plus you also have some armor that gives you soak, I'm sure.
So that'll make it 4 then. I'll still roll with that. Sitting at 60% health is not a good place to be.
Yep, so just keep in mind you can't use Agile Defender again for the rest of the scene until you spend an edge.
Okay.
And you don't have an edge.
Not yet. If it happens, remind me if the scene changes, please.
Okay. Seeing that, the other one of you with only 1 hit, you're coming in pretty fast as well.
Yeah, that's me. Coming in right behind him.
Yeah, so you see this, how are you gonna...
Fall into the slipstream. This drafting, like in NASCAR or something. Like, this guy knows what he's doing. Oh no, he doesn't know what he's doing. He doesn't know what he's doing. And I see him hook into this thing with a sword, and he like bounces around on there. So, in the rules here, my character's also got a katana, but I would like to, if this is cool, reskin that as like those cool metal hook things that you can put onto your hands, like a tiger claw kind of situation.
Yeah, sure, why not?
Keep the stats the same, but it's flavorful this way. I'm gonna try to latch on too, similarly. Not because I'm not creative, but because it makes sense. And check this out. I switched over to the physical dice, and these little bastards betrayed me too. I got 1 as well. So,
So yeah, you hit and scrape along it, but you hit pretty hard and actually like bounce a bit. Kind of have a more or less a similar result where you're gonna take some damage, but not totally splat.
and I feel lame because I'm also gonna use Agile Defender. So.
That's not lame. That's awesome, right?
Tactical.
Yeah. I did the exact same thing with the exact same dice rolls. Oh, I
So
feel
for you,
so
it's-
lame.
It's not quite so bad as your friend. It's
Okay.
3 damage, so probably down
Oh, cool.
to
So
1.
it'll be 1. Okay.
How
I'll take
close
the 1.
did you? How close did you?
Lower
pass the
center of
tuck?
gravity.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
You know how to tuck and roll too.
Well, he has it on his hand, so he just hit it once and then stuck in it. Whereas you
Oh,
are
yeah.
holding a sword and you keep whipping against the side.
2 out of the 3 of you remaining had actually rolled 2 hits, so you're
Yep.
doing just fine. But one of you is plummeting and doesn't seem to be in control, and there's some sort of issue with maybe the drone brain is stalling out, maybe he's deactivated by accident. You don't know what's going on, but he is not going the way he should be.
I tap my subvocal microphone, and I'm falling. How do I fix it?
Oh,
Just
jeez, that
very
sounds
I mean,
like a
literally,
predict-
is as calm as he's falling. He just doesn't care. Like, I'm falling. How do I fix it?
I reach one hand out. It's nowhere near where it needs to be.
Yeah.
It's-
Is it
I
possible?
think you and I do that at the same time. We're like,
Is there enough time for me to land and then address that issue, just so I'm not?
Probably not.
Excellent. Okay, I am going to have to come out of being jacked into mine, and I'm going to whip out my RCC, and I'm going to remote control his so he doesn't plummet to his death.
Okay, so you're gonna sort of jump your control perspective from your own.
Now I'm going
his.
back into my meat suit.
Okay. So go ahead and make your piloting roll then on behalf of this. You can see, yeah, it looks like he turned on the manual override. Didn't realize he was doing it. He was like, "Yep, we're going to turn this thing on," and it did the opposite. It was actually ready to go already.
You're supposed to go left, not right. You turn it to the right.
6, and then I can add my RCC bonus to this, right?
No,
No.
the RCC rating applies to other things,
Okay.
like how many drones you can run and how many program slots you have.
Okay. Fair enough.
Your control rig bonus still applies though, because you're still sort of jumping in.
So my control rig bonus to control his. So I have 5 die for my tech, 1 for being a rigger, and then do I get an additional die for my DCR?
Yes.
Okay, so then it's 7 die. There we go. And that's 2 hits.
Oh, there you go.
Alright.
Oh, that's better. We just came out.
Yeah, you managed to get control, and yeah, you're able to kind of set him down, kind of near the others, a little bit further down, but it's a relatively safe landing. There is some damage involved though, because didn't have an ideal approach.
It yanks you up. You get like a massive wedgie.
So yeah, that's 2 damage minus any soak you have for your armor.
Oh.
Which is probably minus
also-
1. I think everyone starts with some
Yeah.
armor.
Right.
Lined coat. My flapping lined coat flaps against and kind of holds me into place. Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah, basically latched onto this thing. Then, Sean, what was your character's name?
Smirk.
All right, looks like you've got a pretty nice approach coming in. Where do you want to stick your landing? Do you want to land near the passenger area, near the cargo area, toward the bottom, or kind of in between where most of the rest of your team seems to be landing?
Yeah, seeing that everyone's kind of scattered, he'll try to land sort of in the middle. So, I'll get together. He'll be blasting Kenny Loggins' Highway to the Danger Zone as he's sort of peeling in.
All right, so go ahead and make your roll to stick the landing. Same as
boy.
before.
3 hits on 4 dice.
3 hits.
Look at
So
that.
yeah,
Come on, I had 10.
so that's our first time seeing 3 or more hits on a roll. What this means is not only do you succeed, but you either get to choose to have an extra effect, which you get to kind of make up some sort of bonus or cool thing that happens, or you can get an edge.
I'll take an edge.
Okay.
Sounds like it could be always cool.
Edge you can spend later to get extra dice on a roll, or to not take damage.
Oh, hell yeah. Me and my glass jar are going to be protected.
Max edge is 1 per person, and it's use it or lose it. So at the end of the scene, it'll go away.
And I read in the rules, or I think I read in the rules, you can spend edge on someone else's roll too.
Oh yeah, good point. You can spend your edge to give someone else an extra 4 dice.
Okay. Cool.
That's what I get for jumping first, damn it.
So Kindly's yet to stick his landing, so I guess I gotta make a physical roll.
You can actually switch back to like directly rig and control your landing if you want. It's just you don't have the advantage of being quite as precise as you were. You can't take quite as much advantage of your previous successful roll. You use that advantage to help your friend instead. So
I
yeah,
hear that.
you can still use your better dice pool for this, but it's more risky than it would have been if you had just focused on
Oh, it is.
yourself and let your friend fall to the earth.
Yeah. I feel like Scott would never forgive me.
I would have just gone back to character creation, made another guy, and met you inside the train.
No,
Yeah,
just
right?
his brother happens to be
We had a
there.
contact.
Identical twin, yeah.
I'd really like it if you guys just call me by that same name.
Okay. Oh, and I got 3 hits.
Oof, there we
All
go.
right.
Boy.
All right. So
Yeah, what's
you
that
want
like?
to bank an edge, or do you have some
It's
sort of
great.
cool extra effect you want to do?
Feels good.
Yeah.
Is this like do we have to open a door to get in?
Yeah, you'll have to access like an airlock or a hatch or something.
Okay. I want my extra effect to be I land right beside that door.
No problem. You have landed like right next to an airlock maintenance access hatch. Should be ideal for gaining entry to the space train, which is a pretty good idea because it's going pretty fast up towards space.
Yeah, and I will hit up the comms and I'll be like, all right, fellers, I'm right here at the door. You just gotta find me and we'll get inside.
I look for the rotund human.
Yeah, getting past the door might be a little tricky because it's not really designed for like random people to latch onto the thing and just open it.
Yeah.
How are you gonna go
That's
about dealing with
private.
that problem?
I'm gonna take a look and see if there's I'm gonna switch it to AR and see if I can see like a computer on the ship that we can control this access hatch.
Yeah, this thing definitely lights up with icons. It's really around you. The matrix seems pretty dim, and a lot of icons and hosts are really distant. You're sort of looking down like at this like electrical network of glowing icons down below that almost mimics the shape of the planet that's descending quickly beneath you. But yeah, This is very much lit up with life and icons and all sorts of things, including an AR control panel for this latch. And there are some emergency controls on there that essentially it looks like you could just make this thing open. But if you just did it and used the emergency control, it would probably tell someone somewhere that there's been an emergency hatch opened. So
That's like a hacking test.
I was gonna say, if only we had a Decker.
Maybe if he was close to the door too.
Wow.
So yeah, you're pretty much in position. The rest of you are sort of like kind of crawling along and moving your best to get there. We'll make those simple tests for now. I don't want to worry too
Nice.
much about people flying off the.
Thank
If we're
you.
being super realistic, I might make it harder, but this is a cool action scene, not a. Hopefully, not a character beat grinder.
My 10 dice pool thanks you.
Mine too.
So with that, I did say it's a simple test. If any of you want to potentially try to build up some edge, you could risk rolling some dice to see if you can get your 3 hits. But that also gives you the chance of totally failing. It's up to you. In the meantime, let's see.
Going to do something.
Roll the hack. Oh, yeah, what are you doing?
Okay.
I'm going to summon a spirit. Shit,
Awesome.
I should have done before. Where's my spirit? Where are the
So
spirits in the thing?
You're rolling your magic plus your mage attribute rating, which is 3. And spirits, you get to pick the type of spirit. Let's see, what page are they on? I think they're just past the spells.
The just past spells. Between that and drains, mage abilities, essence levels.
All right.
They're not real little physical adept.
Still looking.
I'm scrolling through. I was trying to look into like where the critters are, and I scroll past big fragging gator. Love that.
Oh my. Yeah. So I roll. I think it's 8 die for my
Page,
hacking class.
sorry, it's
Oh, go ahead,
page 42 for the magic, the elementals and spirits. You can do elementals. You got air, earth, fire, and water.
I'm gonna do an air elemental.
That makes sense.
That's what I should have summoned before. You could help me. All right, and so you said it's just magic and mage rating.
Yep. And then its force is equal to the number of hits you roll, and your drain is 3 plus the force.
All right, it's a force 1 spirit.
All right.
Because the bot still doesn't like us. And 4 drain, and it's just I just roll 1d.
You roll a
What is
d6 and
drain?
subtract that number from the drain. It's kind of like soak, but soak and
it is
damage,
just
but
the
a little bit
drain.
reverse.
Yeah. Roll 1. Oh, it's a 6.
Oh yeah, you're fine.
Nice.
You take no drain. Probably because it's such a wimpy spirit.
Yeah.
I mean, you could have gotten a more powerful one with that roll, but yeah, you have an air spirit at least. In the meantime, your hacking roll.
Okay. Rolled that one. I got 5 hits.
Oh,
Okay,
Yes!
so that's enough for
Excellent.
extra effect or an edge, and you don't have an edge yet, so you could bake an edge if you want.
I don't know. Is it going to be noisy? Like, does it have the noisy keyword?
I think it's physically noisy. Yeah, it would still be physically noisy normally, but not on the system. Your hacking roll is going to make it so you can open the hatch without setting off the
Yeah.
alarm. That's a given.
I'm going to use the extra effect to kind of put my foot on top of it because I know that it's going to be noisy and to control it so that I can negate that noise as much as possible.
Okay.
So
You
that
get
if there's anyone
timing.
physically below, they might not hear this. Like, I don't know if there's any people on here.
Okay. Yeah, with that, I mean, there's definitely people on the space elevator. Hopefully not just past this door, but yeah, you all sort of like file into this airlock. There's definitely no one in the airlock itself, and you're able to kind of get it shut behind you and start it cycling with the alarm suppressed. And
Nice.
when it slides open on the other side, there isn't anyone here. You're
Nice.
looking at sort of like this kind of a dark, looks like a maintenance passageway, pretty industrial looking. There's some handlebars and a few warning labels. Probably not supposed to touch anything in here.
And probably
Uh,
getting a warning of a
It
whole
says that.
breach where I landed.
Yeah. It says, "Don't touch anything in here." It's got those warnings saying, like, "This not only will this kill you, but it'll hurt the whole time."
Right?
Yeah, Kneecap's gonna, detach like the breathing thing from the side of the helmet and pull the helmet off and like toss it down to the side, and he's all sweaty from helmet sweat. It's like, that could have gone a little bit smoother, huh? Well, we're in, so that's something at least. Let's get
It
moving.
went smashingly.
Yeah,
Smirk will take off
You
all
say
his
that
clothes and look pristine almost.
you're taking off all your clothes. All right.
all my other clothes reveal the
Okay,
separate high-end suit underneath.
it's Christine. That's right. It's
Pristine.
crisp and pristine together makes Christine.
Yeah.
You see kindly unstrap the baby Bjorn and lower him into the ground. And it like kind of like looks around, but its face is a shotgun, and it's just kind of like looking at all of it.
Face is a shotgun.
Yes.
Yeah, looking around here, it looks like you're in this sort of hallway. It kind of goes out, looks like it branches out in some other areas, but it's compartmentalized with more bulkheads. And along the side, there's definitely what looks like storage lockers of some kind. This seems to be a fairly secure spot where you could maybe just ride along if you want to from here, but depending on your plan or whatever else you might want to do, it's up to you if you want to further explore the space elevator. You're at least not going to end up dying in a vacuum on the ride up.
That's a plus.
That's good. Can we check the storage lockers?
They're definitely secured a bit, but given your hacking abilities and me not wanting to make a bunch of unnecessary dice rolls, you're able to more or less break into them. You find they have handy things like various tools, med kit supplies. There are a few space suits.
Oh, beauty.
Is everybody in?
Everyone, yep.
Okay. Now I get to come back in.
But you said there's medkit supplies here. Would that be something that we could use to help out our buddy who just took like 4 points of damage?
Sure, but I'll mention that like if we go from one scene to another, if your condition monitor isn't filled up, it gets cleared. From
Oh,
one scene
okay.
to the
Oh.
next. So
Never
yeah,
mind.
that's sort of
Fresh.
what would happen
Yeah.
in the background. If you got knocked out, you get some of those boxes back, and you're not full in the next scene. But we'll just resolve that now. You take some time to patch each other up, and
Cool.
everyone's damage is cleared because it's relatively superficial.
And we're in like an engineering type compartment currently.
Yeah, it looks like it's at a sort of an emergency maintenance hatch for
Okay.
people who got to get out and fix the space elevator or something.
Oh, but like it's not cargo, it's not passengers.
Yeah, it seems like it's part of the engineering section, which, unlike a normal train, is kind of in the middle of the space elevator.
I feel like the door we came in through is probably not going to connect to the station. We're probably going to have to travel through the train to get out onto the station without going outside again.
Or we put on
So-
those spacesuits and do a little spacewalk?
Yeah, what do you think the chances are it's going to fit you or me?
I mean, as long as it's too
You
big.
could probably both fit
it
into
still
one.
fits. Yeah.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, thanks.
I'll sit on your shoulders, and then I'll be the face, and you be the hips.
I mean,
want me
there
to be
are a
the
bunch
ass?
of different storage lockers, and as technology is an equal opportunity employer.
Papa takes his jacket off, hands it to the two dwarves.
Is it really?
2 dwarves in
So-
a trench coat.
You say this is a maintenance type area. Is there a maintenance type computer nearby where we could possibly have like a manifest, see if there's anybody actually in the passenger compartments, and maybe we could find a way to like weave our way through there without being seen or being too obvious about it? We have an idea of who we're going to run into. We can at least try to look like we belong there.
Go ahead, give me a tech roll to see how you can. You're looking around, and it all looks like machinery to you. There's probably some buttons somewhere or
That's
panels.
true.
You might get lucky pressing some of them.
I'll tap our hacker friend on the shoulder and go, point at his eyes, go
Just
around.
don't forget this is
computer.
audio. So
Yeah,
I look at him like this.
What?
I'll do the point at the eyes, do the scan, and then keyboard.
I look like jazz hands to me.
And kindly, he's got like a nice, friendly kind of Santa Claus-like smile for you, and he nods. He doesn't move towards the computer at all, and he's just already reading the files. Is kind of
Yeah,
how I
he doesn't-
imagine.
You don't have to. You can wirelessly access all this stuff.
Yeah.
It's surprising how light security is at this stage of things. Like, they don't expect anyone to try to break in at this point.
Oh yeah, there's not going to be security on the elevator once you're already inside of the building.
Yeah, there should have been security at the station and then at the other station.
That's how we planned it out.
They might add security for the next one.
Well, next time. Yeah.
Where the hell does this hole in the wall come from?
So yeah,
Yeah.
you're able to pull that up, and we'll say you were hired for this job. You've given some data and stuff, so you've got like a map of the space elevator. So you can, it looks like we're at this position here. And you can kind of pull up a 3D map and share it with anyone who has an image link or something
Absolutely.
tied with their comm link. So if you've got like glasses or goggles or cyber eyes, or I imagine something on a heads-up display, most of you can kind of see this data, or maybe your decker has a little portable holo projector or something to show people with. But you get to
I
see the
got one
cool map,
contact lens.
which again is sort of this cylindrical series of different containers and carts. Yeah, you can see you're roughly in the middle. You get the "you are here" and the map of where things are. It looks like there's a lot of spaces in this area that are generally marked as "don't traverse here" personnel. So you've
Yeah.
got your paths to where you should be going through if you don't want to run into people, or if you want to maybe go somewhere and try to get some uniforms or something so you can masquerade as somebody, you know where those would be stored. But you might have to punch or talk your way past someone to get to those.
I don't have a choice but to stay with the maintenance things. That's my best chance of making sure that I get through without being noticed, because it's either run the chance of running into a couple of maintenance guys or I absolutely run into civilians. There's not much of a decision to make there. So maintenance hatches for me all day long. I'm crawling through vents, boys and girls.
If I think the best idea we got, is perhaps we send out our dwarves buddies and the mage, and they can go and see if we can get some uniforms.
The uniform still isn't going to work with me. I've still got that mask.
well,
Like
you know what, you're fucked.
he'll actually go tink 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 and point at the mask.
No worries. I got a Doberman drone with a shotgun for a face. I'm also hanging out here.
I think you can still pass that off with a uniform. I mean, drone maintenance.
Just get, the sniffer nozzle that acts like a vacuum for its face.
The Doberman explicitly has the tag obvious weapon mount.
Oh.
Obvious
Well, never
weapon.
mind then.
Yeah.
Well, fuck me, I guess.
I think I can get a uniform or two. I got no problem with that.
They come in small.
Obviously.
Your mom does. Wait. Fuck.
His mom is coming in small.
It was so close.
You're
Next
killing
time.
me, Smalls.
Next time. Get them next time. Practice. All right. So, yeah, I think I can get some uniforms. I got no problem with that. I'll sneak around a little bit, grab a dude, put him in the old whatcha, and he does some crazy arm gestures. Strip him down a little bit. Throw a jacket on over this old thing.
Taka just
Shouldn't be a
points at himself, points at the maintenance hatch and the 3D map thing, and just begins to start moving.
I give you a little nod and a salute.
Clunk. Double finger guns, and then
you clunk your
shink.
robo hands at me. There you go. I want to sneak around, and basically, I want to kind of be like Batman. I want to sneak around in these tubes and look through a vent until I find one of these guys in uniform, snatch him up, knock him out, get him naked. Not all the way naked, leave him in a pair of boxers and a white
Undershirt.
beater or something.
Thank you for qualifying that statement.
Yeah.
All right, so you want
And
to find and
socks.
isolate one person, capture them, knock them out, take their clothes, sort of thing.
Absolutely. This is gonna fall under physical. So I got my 5 dice for that. I got my 3 dice for my physically adeptness, and I've got an extra d6 on stealth because of my rad poncho. And do you feel that stealth falls under athletics? Probably not.
No, I think it'd be a different wing of physical stuff.
Okay. I agree. And that is time for me to switch dice again. So I got 2.
Yeah, 2 hits. You pull it off. You do the sneak. It takes you a little while. The space elevator is already up in space now, and it's actually getting to slow as it approaches the station, the Horizon Nexus. But yeah, in that time, you're able to kind of sneak around. You find someone who's going to check on something, looking at a terminal, and just kind of the right size. He's got the uniform. You see him out of the vent. You drop down and knock him out and take their stuff.
There we go. Yeah, snatch him up, knock him out. As gently as I can. It's like a choke out rather than something super traumatic.
You're not going to kill the person.
Definitely not. No, it like a choke out. And as soon as they start to go out, I go shh, lay them down gently and take their clothes off of them. And I'm guessing their uniform includes a tie. I'm going to use the tie to tie up their hands behind their back, and sock in the mouth or whatever so they're quiet, and stuff them in a locker that we got the other stuff out of, and present what's left of the uniform to unfortunately the elf whose name I've forgotten. I'm sorry.
Hydro.
Aggro.
Okay.
Not Hydro. Get out of here.
My bad.
Aggro. What do you think
Aggro.
this is? Aggro. Yeah, aggro.
Yeah,
So I will provide this uniform for aggro. Be like,
Why is there
Gotcha.
only one sock?
you got your own, don't you?
So as Kneecap is out taking care of some business, are the rest of you basically just kind of hunkering down and waiting, or did you have other things you wanted to get up to during this time?
Kylie is probably just going through and seeing if there's any useful or valuable data aboard this. It probably not, but
Yeah, not really much. You've got a lot of general data about this particular trip. that your Johnson provided you to prepare you for the mission. And you're kind of checking some stuff against that and not really finding anything terribly interesting.
Okay.
You
I
found their
think-
route.
I think Taka is mostly using the maintenance hatches more just to hide. Like, it's the best place to hide from civilians, and if he encounters a maintenance worker at some point, he can just kind of work his way around it. But I think the general idea is to try to get out of the car once it stops at the station.
Yeah, you get the general sense that people aren't terribly vigilant or worried about being snuck up on here. They generally feel like they don't have to worry about things like that. So
Sweet.
it's pretty easy to sneak around as long as you are careful about it.
I'm conversing with the air elemental
Ooh.
to see if it still sticks around as we fly into space.
Yeah, you're starting to converse with it, and it's like, you know what I think, and then it just kind of dissolves.
Oh,
I like how breathy he was speaking too. You want to know
Mr.
what
Aggro, I don't
think,
feel so good.
Yeah, and you kind of realize that you as a mage, you kind of don't feel so good. You feel this
No,
sort
not
of
good either.
big weight over you. You couldn't astrally perceive if you wanted to, and it would be a bad idea to try. Yeah, you definitely feel like you are not in the Gaia-sphere anymore.
Mm-hmm.
And I think
I-
with that, we'll.
I pull the pistol out of the thing and cock it.
I think with that,
We
yeah,
got one
your
trick up my sleeve.
kneecap shows up with the uniform, and you start to get changed to get ready as the space elevator is beginning to slow and dock with the Horizon Nexus, which is a big old station of these various cylindrical and spherical modules connected by different, connecting conduits or tubes or things, and some of them are spinning and rotating, and it all looks kind of weird and complicated, but it seems to work pretty
A
well.
giant hamster.
Yeah. There's a variety of like big old solar farms floating around nearby, sort of microwave beaming the power they collect to the station itself. It's a very busy, bustling area. Lots of various spacecraft and drones kind of moving about. People in spacesuits out working on the things here and there. It's definitely not like a Star Wars space city, but it's definitely a busy, bustling space station that has a population. It varies a bit, but somewhere near 1,000 typically. There's actually like a little bit of shopping and restaurant facilities inside, but the place is mostly a sort of a logistical base for other space-based operations for various corporations.
Is it attached to the space elevator?
And yes, it is directly attached to the
Okay,
space
so
elevator
it's-
in geosynchronous orbit.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. So it's got gravity still. I would imagine everything up here is incredibly expensive.
Yeah.
So you're a captive audience up here.
I mean, Zurich
Cheeseburger.
Orbital is Zurich Orbital's up here too. I imagine only the creme de la creme can actually afford to take the space elevator up to this place.
$85 Whopper.
Pretty
Chances
cheap,
are-
actually.
Oh,
Unless you're insanely rich, if you're up here, you're here for work.
bingo.
Yeah.
Such
You
as
better
yourselves.
pack a lunch.
Yeah.
We're here for work.
You eat soy paste that they produce in the farm.
So at the end of a scene, a couple things happen, one of which is all edge goes away. And if you have damage, that goes away, but I think we resolved that earlier.
Mm,
If you had a condition monitor box that was totally filled, then we'd be having a different conversation. But you do start to feel the space elevator docking. You are in space, floating around a
I
bit
hate
now,
space.
and you probably had a little bit of training on this, maybe just in VR. Yeah, you all find yourself now in space for the first time. You are in the position now of having to commandeer a shuttle so you can get to your mission destination. Fortunately, you've got things like maps and the station and where shuttles should be marked on there. What you don't have is authorization to take a shuttle out of here. There's definitely going to be some security in place. How are you going to approach doing this? Stealthy outdoor spacewalk or some other through the station ruse that will involve interacting with some of the people who work here?
I would have loved to see an elaborate con.
An elaborate con.
Y'all can still totally pull it off. I'm the one who has to be the ninja.
I've got a guy for this. It's you.
Yeah, were you pointing down at me?
It's you. Yeah.
We're on
Okay.
the internet. You can't point at this.
Right. It's specifically you.
This guy, two spaces below me.
Adam was using his pen to point downward at the camera.
It's a pencil. I'm not a savage.
Oh, okay.
I make mistakes.
Excuse me.
So I write with
Fountain
the pen.
pen.
Ooh, classy.
I do the crossword puzzle in pen. All right. I think we follow your lead.
Cool. All right.
Worst case scenario, I'll sneak up behind the guy. If it doesn't go the way that you want it to, knock him out.
Oh, okay. A little bit of violence. Yeah, so I guess we'll try to case a number of people, see if we can find someone who looks maybe like they're supposed to be working and they're going towards the shuttles, and maybe a group of them, and see if we can sort of schmooze our way in.
Okay, well, one of the first challenges is moving from the space elevator onto the station, which would involve sort of like
party.
crossing through sort of an airlock that's monitored, kind of like going through customs, a little bit less secure than that necessarily by the time you're up here. You've been pretty scrutinized. But yeah, given the weapons you guys have, like the drone with the shotgun face,
It's
probably going to be difficult to explain.
Not too subtle.
Yeah.
And you've only got one uniform, though you do have a bunch of spacesuits that, enough for everyone if you want to, but you've only got the one uniform that'll fit the human-sized person.
Could we find like a locker room? See if maybe we can snatch some uniforms?
Yeah, you've got those marked on the map.
Yeah,
We just pop on these spacesuits and
yeah, I mean, we could do a
try to
spacewalk if
act
we
like,
want.
or we could just wear them and try to act like we're supposed to be there.
Like outside maintenance.
I'm
Just like,
looking
oh,
for the roles.
we're coming back from doing maintenance. Yeah, it's just my uniform. I just wear the spacesuit. Look, I've got somewhere I gotta be, and I'm not gonna take this thing off and then put it back on. Like,
Yeah.
look, it takes 10 minutes to get into this suit.
Grab an ID badge from like one of the locker rooms, so that way we have something to justify.
You think I can reach the zipper on the back of this thing? Come on.
It's what dwarves have friends, so we can reach each other's zippers. I zip you, you zip me.
It's a little weird. It's a little weird.
It's not weird. It's not weird. It's totally cool.
It's what like
All right,
boys do. It's
as
boys
It's
time.
friendship, man. It's friendship. It's not weird.
As you're sort of talking and prepping for this and getting dressed and deciding your plans, you all sort of hear, it sounds like there might be some people coming this way. Whether or not they're going to like actually go into your area or look into it, you don't know for sure, but there's definitely more movement and activity now around the space elevator, now that it's no longer in motion. And imagine there's going to be a lot of activity as they load and unload the cargo and transfer passengers. People get on and off.
Okay.
Yeah, let's
I have
suit up.
yeah, we either suit up or we pretend to be billionaires, and I have a plan for that.
I'm gonna suit up. You can pretend to be a billionaire.
I think I'm going to suit up.
Yeah.
Do I have any way of monitoring the kind of progress they're making through the course outside of listening in on the comm links that I can't talk to them with?
Not that I can think of.
Okay.
Possibly you could have your hacker buddy start like hacking into things and checking the various cameras and sensors and whatnot. But it would probably take most, if not all, of his attention to do something like that.
Okay.
Next time I work with Taka, I'm going to buy him a set of trodes. Stick them on his head. He can just think at us.
That'll be fun.
But yeah, I'll put on my spacesuit, and then the good news is that the drone will be weightless, so I can just tether it to my waist.
Sounds good.
Yep.
You realize it's going to have some difficulty moving unless it's actually like on the ground, but
Yeah, no, I'm just gonna carry it behind me in space.
Are we 0G or low?
close enough. It really makes no difference.
Okay.
Very low G,
Okay.
almost zero. But I don't really know physics enough to say for sure what it would be in real life. So I'm trying to avoid as much actual technical decisions as possible.
Sure.
Low
Any-
enough.
Any
Yeah.
astronauts that are
That's
listening
perfect
can
answer.
have fewer things to criticize me for.
The astronauts on the space station.
Guys,
No,
I thought
we
Buzz
need you to
Aldrin's
have
telling
a
me.
doctorate in physics, my friend, before you start doing anything like
Before you start telling stories, you need to go to college for at least 20 years.
Have
how dare you
88
sit us in
technical
space and not know
papers.
exactly how it works.
Anyway, you're in space, and I think is everyone putting on a spacesuit, or is some of you going to be?
All of us except Taka.
Yeah. I'm using the maintenance hatches and I'm getting out through the maintenance area.
Okay, sounds like you're all trying to be sneaky then.
like not sneaky, but like spacesuit on, and then look like I should be there. Maybe
Yeah,
grab
maybe like
something and carry
socially
something.
sneaky, just trying to blend in.
Yeah, just like grab something and carry it like I'm supposed to be hauling.
Sure.
cargo.
Yeah, there's other people out moving around, drones moving back and forth, big old cargo arm things grabbing huge sections and hauling them over to another station, sticking them on somewhere. So I'm gonna say we'll do kind of a teamwork thing. Taka, you're going on your own, so you can make your own stealth roll.
Okay.
But the rest of you can sort of rely on whoever wants to make the best roll, which is probably obvious because one of you is a physical adept.
Would you like to see my stealth roll now, sir?
Sure. Yeah, go ahead. You're going through the maintenance tunnels. You've got plenty of data and maps and things, but going through those without actually running into someone is the tricky part.
Almost feels like a luck roll, too. Okay,
But
so
that's going to be physical and
I'm Street Sam.
seems like something that would be Street Samurai. Like,
Let's pull that back up real quick. The Street Samurai.
yep, stealth is in there. You're good.
Okay, so that's 9. Do you want to label this as a risk?
This is risky. If you're
Okay.
rolling dice, it's a risky test.
Mhm.
Oh, fair point. So,
Otherwise, we're not going to roll dice.
6 hits.
Oh yeah, you ace it. You can either take extra effect or get an edge. What would you like?
Ooh. Extra effect.
Maybe you make really good time or find something useful on the way or
Find something useful.
okay. So yeah, things go really well for you and you find some extra IDs and stuff that should be able to help. Hopefully with the whole commandeering a shuttle. If it comes down to that, the rest of you are sort of moving along, trying to blend in as also trying to avoid getting squashed by cargo drones and various
Yeah.
other machinery moving about, or being spotted and called out and commandeered to help haul cargo by one of the work supervisors who's out.
Oh yeah.
But most of the hauling and manual labor is actually being done by machinery rather than people in spacesuits.
Sounds like a distraction to me. Sounds
So
like
yeah,
Adam.
it seems like you're well positioned to maneuver around, and as long as you don't draw too much attention, it should be all right. But let's see how the dice feel about that. So you relying on your physical stealthiness?
Oh, absolutely. In the spacesuit, he's trying to, skirt around outside of people's perspectives. Let's see, 5, 8, 9 dice because of my rad poncho, which he's wearing over the spacesuit. I feel like that's not too weird. And I feel like people might do that. It's not that weird. It's not that weird. So I got, out of my 9 dice, I got 2 hits. And it should be just enough to get to where I'm going.
Yeah, it's a little bit touch and go. You got to kind of pause and wait in like a very stark shadow as the team moves past. One of them is wearing a security upgraded armored spacesuit, and he's just kind of moving around with his little jets on them, just not even tethered to something. Some sort of laser gun, probably.
Ooh.
You got to wait for him to go by, but yeah, you maneuver around and coordinate things with your buddy Taka, who's crawling through the vents and finding his stuff, and meet up near an area where there's a set of shuttle hangars, some of which are obviously empty, as the shuttles must be in use or off somewhere. Others, though, there's certain to be some that are sort of closed and parked. But these shuttles are designed for in-space travel. They're not designed to go land on a planet or go to Mars or something. They're going from one space station to another in which is probably low Earth orbit, but I might be using that term incorrectly. So
Probably big blocky looking things with no fins or wings, not aerodynamic in any way.
they probably look a little bit a little bit bulkier, but fairly similar to a spacey version of an Ares Venture with these sort of vector thrust engines. They're definitely different designs than the normal ones because the whole internal combustion in space. Things have got to be different, but they use different engine technology. They should be pretty maneuverable enough, but yeah, again, don't try to land on the planet. You will burn up in the atmosphere.
Okay.
We're not going to a planet, so
Yeah.
So,
I mean, eventually, but
so yeah, you can kind of coordinate to where you're pretty close to where your friend's position is. Actually, Taka can pop open a maintenance hatch for you and let you in. Kind of wave y'all in and hand out badges for you as you step on in to the
Fling 'em
access
in a
hatch.
spiral
Like
through
Ninja
space.
Stars.
Yeah.
A badge.
like slow, but like real slow in like.
But yeah, those of you the spacesuits, you can kind of walk. It's not quite like normal walking because your boots have to kind of lock in. It takes a while to get used to, but you've had some practice now.
Cool. Love it.
But yeah,
Mag
after
boot
cycling
thing,
into the
yeah.
airlock, you're on the Horizon Nexus station, near the shuttle hangars.
All right.
Can I just sense around for any sort of security measures that we should be aware of?
Yeah, that'll just be a quick symbol test, popping things up in the matrix to see what icons are around. They're not really bothering to run silent for anything up here, but a fair amount of things are going to be hardwired, so they're not going to be running wireless. So just because you don't see something doesn't mean it's not going to be there. But there is definitely a security station clearly marked in AR at the entrance to the shuttle hangars. There's 1 or 2 people, possibly with some drone backup or something, keeping an eye on who takes shuttles in and out.
Okay. Well, Feathers, it's there's only like a small security booth over there. If we just took them out,
I mean, small.
like a few people.
Oh, I thought it was a crack. All right. Yeah. Let's get in there. Take them down. Make it real easy. No.
Okay, maybe I'll go over, distract them while you guys sneak up behind them, and then do your thing, right?
Yeah. Sounds good. Let's go.
Yeah.
All right, yeah. So as you approach, there's essentially this little kind of a booth station. It's got like some window structures up and around, so you can't just like climb over the desk, but there's enough gaps where you might be able to reach through or fire a weapon through if you wanted to.
Grab a dude by his tie, pop his head under the counter.
Yeah, there's a security person sort of sitting there in a uniform, kind of floating where they are, looking down at a terminal, looks up at you as you approach. Who is approaching?
Yes, me?
There we go.
Yeah, they look up at you. They look curious. They
Not
don't seem to be
me.
alarmed or suspicious, but they don't say anything.
Yeah, so I just start making small talk. Oh man, you would not believe the ride up here. It was beautiful. So
Oh.
great in those passenger seats. It's just, hey, how are you doing? I always like to introduce myself. I'm Gary Gengelsmith. I'm first day up here at the new job, and they sent me over here. I don't know if I'm in the right area.
Randy Schmidt, with Horizon Security. Oh, first ride up the elevator, huh?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it is a good ride. I've been out here for 7 months, but I still remember it like it was yesterday. Yeah, it's about ready to cycle down myself. I think I was scheduled to take this one down, but decided to sign on for a bonus, a little bit extra time,
Oh, I can't hate that. A little bit of bonus cash. Go back to the missus or the mister. Doing wonderful.
So, what you doing here? I don't think I have any requisition requests for a shuttle.
I've got to, at this point, I'm waiting to see if they've done anything or.
So yeah, while this is talking, it seems like again simple test, just making small talk, no risk here. Seems to be engaging the guy in conversation. What are the rest of you doing? It doesn't look like there's a way to get to the shuttle area without really moving in the open and getting to that hatch that is currently closed, probably controlled by the person behind the desk. Possibly something you could hack and open, but again, there's the guard there.
Would I be able to make a hacking test to see if I can make a requisition request? Like, can I falsify one?
Yeah, it sounds like something you could probably do. That would be a risky test, though.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Very risky.
While you're talking to that man, on the screen behind you, you see there's a little avatar of me, or not me, but kindly, and we're in the same outfit, but he's thin and buff and handsome.
Because of course.
So it's actually an avatar of you.
Yeah.
I am not thin, but I am incredibly handsome.
No argument.
And
here.
humble. Incredibly humble.
I'm
incredibly humble.
Anyway, that's 4 successes or 4 hits on that hacking test.
Okay. Do you want extra effect, or would you like to? A suggestion for extra effect would be to hack this thing in and incorporate and activate the badges that your buddy Taka got for you to make things
nice.
extra smooth. But you could come up with something else or take an edge instead if you like.
No, that actually sounds really good. That's some teamwork right there.
Yeah, Taka set you up nicely for it. You got these IDs and numbers you can work with it.
Exactly.
There's a little bit of data to finesse to make it work with the meta types you've got and the general descriptions, but overall, as long as they don't look too closely, it should work.
Okay, so yeah,
Randy goes, oh, wait, I see one. Is this you? Wait, there should be. This is a group. Sorry, go on.
They sent me over, and they're all real shy, but I'm always friendly. So.
I go walking up.
Oh yeah, so outbound already then. Where are you headed? Yep, probably under a confidentiality clause. Never mind. Not supposed to ask.
NDA, can't say it, or they'll space me. So.
Wah.
All right. Why don't you go ahead and give me a social test to see if he will accept you and this team along with this requisition request? Because the file itself isn't enough, but with you smoothing things over socially, it might be.
Okay, so this would be social and then face.
Yes, this is totally your specialty.
That's good. I don't think I have anything that changes that, so we will go 2 hits.
Okay, yeah, 2 hits.
Nice.
No special or extra effect or anything, but yeah, it seems to work. The guy's here's your party here. Got the numbers. Well, I guess you can take your pick. 5, 6, or 7. Number 4, it looks like it's the bay, but definitely needs some maintenance. You're not going to want to take that one. But the other ones are all powered up, charged fully, stocked and everything, ready to go.
Let's take 7, guys.
Lucky number 7.
All right, here you go. Hands you a thing that looks kind of like a bulkier version of a cred stick. There's the access key. Just head around through there and take a right. Look for the big number 7.
Sounds good. You have a great day.
Yeah, you too. Good luck out there.
I'm gonna stop sneaking.
Thanks.
Start walking normally.
Yeah, stop with a high knee walking. The creepy
Tiptoe.
hands.
Yeah, security
Bugs
guard
Bunny.
is sort of reaching down under something, and it comes up with some of you might get a little bit nervous, but then he comes up with a little Capri Sun style pouch, and takes out a straw and pokes it in.
While they're over there sweet talking and glad handing the concierge guy, I was supposed to have been with them the whole time.
Yes. As a matter of fact, you had got those ID
Close
cards, and your decker used those with the hack.
How am I hiding the katana?
Good question. Are you openly carrying obvious weapons?
Yeah, I am. Remember,
Okay.
I had to use the katana to catch myself outside the car.
So, yeah, oddly enough, you walk right past the security guy who kind of like looks up at you, raises an eyebrow as he takes a sip out of his juice bulb or whatever. But it doesn't seem to otherwise say anything. Apparently, you're not the only person who's walked through here with a katana on his back.
Okay.
Security's got to have their weapons.
They've got them in the duty-free shop.
I guess so.
I mean, Renraku people come through here too.
You know.
Those guys love katanas. Love them.
So I'm just sitting, like, Taco walk by and just like, what the hell? Kind of look on his face as he's just. Okay.
The guards more or less thought it's like, well, that's impractical.
The crowd kind of looks back and sees me going by. You just see him shaking his head, go like, I don't know, man. Just.
He doesn't get paid enough
Takes
for
a
that.
sip
Come
and
on.
shrugs, looks back at you
Yeah.
like, okay. Like,
Whatever.
Are you going to try to stop a guy with a katana when you're just a simple security guard? Nah.
Low
You
gravity
got
sword fighting.
you got the card. It says you're good. Just
All right.
don't
I'll
look
take
at the with the sword.
yeah, you've got essentially clearance from flight control, basically. Randy Schmidt there is giving you the green light, so you load in, hop in, the rigger can hop in the pilot seat and jack in if you'd like, and
We'll be
Take the
co-pilot
shuttle
in
out.
case I need to, lie about anything for us.
this isn't taking a drive out on the town here. This is space travel, so I think it calls for a piloting role for whoever wants to drive this thing.
Not it.
I will look at kindly.
Yeah, kindly we'll attempt to drive it, I guess. I'll jack in and sorry, I get getting 2 rules confused between the decker and the rigger. I forget if jacking in gives me bonuses to the roll.
So jumping in gives you bonuses to the roll with your control rig. Jacking in is sort of like plugging directly in. It means you can't get hacked. That's the bonus for jacking directly in. But yeah, jumping in or jacking in, either way, whether you're using your RCC to remotely jump into something or just your control rig and a cable to plug directly into something, either way you get the extra die for the control rig.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I will use the VCR because if I roll well enough, I get an extra effect and edge.
Ooh.
Yeah, and if there's ever been a time to lean into your rigging abilities,
Yes,
Probably
flying a
now.
spacecraft.
that's 5.
You're a pilot?
6, 7. Well, I've never driven a spacecraft before, so. Oh, all right, fellas. Let's see how this one goes. 3 hits.
Goes well.
Nice.
Yeah, turns out I'm amazing at it.
Give everyone like a good like DS9 style shuttle trip around the station as you
Sweet.
Fly
as you
around
prepare your
promenade.
vector to head towards your target. And I would say you can gain an edge, but like it's the end of the scene, so the edge would go away. So do you want anything in particular for your extra effect besides
Do a
the
barrel roll.
nice visuals?
Yeah, I do want. I want to do a loop-de-loop and a barrel roll.
All right.
That's what I
A
want to do.
dead spiral.
As you're flying away from Horizon Nexus, you can see like there's some workers in spacesuits are like looks like they're clapping their hands, kind of making really obvious gestures because otherwise, when you're wearing a spacesuit, you can't just do a thumbs up. At least not at that distance. So
It's like doing thumbs up wearing cooking mitts.
Scott with the fireworks. Oh,
all right,
man.
so there is a chunk of time where we'll just skip through where you're flying through space. You got a really nice view of the Earth below. It's really big, takes up a lot of the view. The moon
Is it
isn't in
flat?
sight. What's that?
Is it flat?
Is the Earth flat?
If you cover up one of your eyes, it kind of looks like it might be a flat disc. Yeah.
you lose your depth perception.
I don't know. I guess probably at this distance there isn't much depth perception anyway. So like, I guess it
Those
definitely
crazy
seems-
people in the early 2020s were right. God damn it.
You got the
If
all.
you truly believe, it
definitely
looks
strikes you. Definitely strikes you as being more spherical in appearance, I would say. But
The weird shading makes it look like the old Universal Studios logo.
I'm not here to tell you what you believe. So anyway, there's really not much out here. You would think like maybe there's other spaceships flying around, but it's space is big. You get a little alert on your navigational computer telling you that you are getting close to your destination and it's time to make some course adjustments for the final approach. You are picking up a station on the sensors, even though there isn't like a publicly posted space station here.
Ooh.
The weird thing is, as you approach, it kind of looks weird from a distance, like kind of blurry almost. And as you get closer and closer, you realize that where you expect to see a space station, it looks like there's a cloud, a thick cloud in space. Looks
that
like the
happens,
cloud
right? I
itself
don't know.
is large enough that it might cover an entire space station. And you're definitely getting radar sensors that there's metal and stuff. There's a thing there. It's not just water vapor or whatever that cloud is supposed to be. You're also not picking up anything about the cloud on sensors.
This is where all the information is stored.
What is our mage about this? Like,
Uh,
I feel like
I know that might be magic, but I'm not opening myself to anything right now. This is the void, dude. I'll wait till I get close. Once we fly into the cloud, I'll tell you.
Could you roll like a magic test to see if you know, like magic theory?
That was my magic theory. I simple tested
Oh.
it. That's probably the magic
Good.
around it. That's the magic around it. I just can't touch it yet. When we get close, I'll tell you about it. But until I'm in it, I'm not going to do it. I'm not touching the void.
That's the magic theory. Theoretically, it's magic.
There you go.
Yeah, and whatever it is going on up here, if it's magic, it's outside of any sort of normal knowledge.
Mhm.
But
Oh, man.
yeah, as you approach,
Fly
you
into
can
the
find-
cloud, I'll tell you.
As you approach, you get closer to the cloud. You want to fly into the cloud and approach the station?
absolutely
Carefully.
Yeah.
Okay.
Slowly.
Yeah, as you enter the cloud, you're not able to see it all, but you, as the rigger piloting, you're absolutely not blinded at all because you've got all these different sensors in your instruments that you're paying a lot more attention to than looking out the window like everyone else is. So you're having no trouble navigating. It's no big deal for you, but everyone else, like, yeah, you're inside of what looks like a soupy cloud. There's no like water droplets on the windshield like you might expect in a real cloud. This is weird. But as you begin to approach, do you want to look for a place to dock, or are you gonna fly around a bit and scout things out first?
No, I think we're gonna dock. Kindly is not the savviest individual.
All right, go ahead and give me a a rigor piloting roll. Then this is going to be a risky test.
All right.
Fairly routine for someone flying a spacecraft, but you're flying a spacecraft, so it should be risky, I think, in this circumstance.
3 hits again.
Oh, no
I'm gonna
problem.
bank
You
that
want-
edge.
Nice.
Yeah, you land with smooth and finesse, and you sort of like spin it around and like dock the rear airlock door. You don't actually have an airlock on this craft. It's actually just a hatch, but this is designed to connect 2 airlocks. Yeah, you start to hear the cycling of the airlocks, and Aggro, you feel different, like
If I
better.
if I die, just face me, and I just
Got it.
lay back. I close my eyes and I astrally project.
Okay, you
Is there a manosphere?
yeah, you feel really thin,
Nice.
and it doesn't feel good. It feels uncomfortable,
nice.
but not necessarily painful. But yeah, you're looking around. It's like you're looking at astral space, but like it's misty,
Ooh.
and there's a vibe.
Okay.
Ooh,
what's my
It's a
vibe?
weird vibe, and it's not a pleasant vibe. Well, why don't you go ahead and give me a magic
What's
plus
this
major
taste
roll,
like? What is
because
this?
you're.
What's this flavor?
Yeah, we'll make it risky to see how much. The risk is how much information you get or not.
Do it.
Nice.
So yeah, there's definitely magic here.
Okay.
There's definitely some sort of life in a Gaia-sphere. You're not quite sure how it's being produced, but it's definitely thinner than normal. But it also seems to be getting stronger. Just even as you look further in, you think as you went closer to the center of the cloud, it would feel more and more solid, astrally speaking. Other than that, though, what you get off of this is there's a distinct astral signature. It doesn't feel blank or barren or elemental. It feels like almost like you're in a magician's domain of some kind, but not like anyone you've ever seen or sensed. Like not a signature you know. There's this sort of permeating vibe of like unbridled reptile brain terror underneath it all.
Oof.
This is nice.
That's a good
I'm gonna
sign.
go wander around. There you go. Slide around in my astral body and kind of zoom through the place. What kind of crazy stuff I find.
Hey, we can set up a timeshare out here.
You start to get a short ways before you sort of get to feels like a barrier. You don't think it's like a ward, but you think it might be like it's kind of spongy. Like maybe there's like fat bacteria or like thick plants or something.
All right.
It doesn't look like you could just like slip through here and project. It seems to be, at least here, it seems to be pretty thick.
I just kind of do the feel around see the way through, and if I don't, I zip back to my body.
But yeah, it's definitely not a ward. It's something else. But
Oh.
you're not able to find a gap.
Back to the body I go. Open up my eyes. Oh, the magic's back. However, this place is blech. Place is
Oh,
like
ain't that just
Taco
neat?
Temple. It like tastes gross.
Taco
He's
Joe's
like
fantastic.
walking around inside a mushroom.
Don't eat the magic here. Ooh.
Yeah, you're able
It
to.
gets thicker inside.
You all are still in the shuttlecraft at this point, but it's docked onto an airlock, and you've got the green light that it's ready to cycle whenever you're ready. If you'd like to, you could enter the station. There doesn't
Right.
appear to be any other like greeting or other activity. It seems fairly quiet.
Let's enter.
Let's do that.
All right,
Sounds
you move
good.
into the airlock. It seems fairly normal. A little bit, I don't know. It's kind of got the vibe of it hasn't really been cleaned in a bit, but nothing really stands out as like it's particularly nasty or grimy or grungy or something. When you close the airlock and it cycles through the other side, when it opens, there's this sudden flop and movement as all this vegetation just sort of like moves to fill in about half of the space of the airlock. These thick vines and leaves and roots. At first, it almost seems like it's reaching in towards you, but it seems like it just sort of falls in under its own weight. And like looking inside down the hatch or tunnel or whatever, it just looks like the floor is covered in like moss and vines and roots. You can even see some stones and things here and there. The walls are, in some cases, it looks like there's wood, like old wood lining the walls, but also thick vines and like canopies of leaves and vines along the top. Some of the plants seem to be moving a little. It's hard to tell. It's a little bit disorienting. There's a few flowers here and there.
When you say moving, do you mean like as if in the wind, or moving like
There's no
watch out,
wind.
here it comes? But like moving like as if it were in the wind.
Like
You know,
twisting, or just
it's not like moving as if it were in like a gentle breeze or something like that. Because I
No.
would imagine the pressure change from the airlock could cause some stuff to move. I don't know.
more like
I'm not a
vines
spaceman.
twisting and tightening. It's got to be from the movement
Okay,
of the
so
airlock opening, right? Yeah, that's got to be it.
So not the kind that I would look at and go, the kind I would look at and go, ugh. Okay.
Taka, Choppa,
Pink. Figure 8.
clear our way through.
Which
turn.
way are we going?
Man
Are we
with
going,
ready.
are we going down or are we going out? Because I heard like they're blocking doors and then they're under. Do we have a map of this place?
You don't have a map of this place. You had a map to this place.
Can I sense to see if there's like any Matrix stuff going on here that I can maybe pull up a map?
You take a quick look at the matrix, and there's things seem kind of glitchy around, and there's really like not much of a signal here. But there's like one little sort of blurry icon. It's like a little bit of a file. Do you want to check it to see what it is? Just kind of like vibrating in and out of existence. It seems like it's almost like about to delete itself.
Yeah, if it looks like it's about to go, I'll send my agent to grab it.
Okay, so your agent is able to grab it. It's a simple test. It checks it out skeptically. I assume, make sure there's not a data bomb or some other trap. Just kind of like grabs it. It's all right. It kind of winks out shortly after. Turns, looks at you, and says, "It's an audio file. Not a very long one."
Fair enough. I'll have the Doberman play it from his chest out loud
Alright.
for everyone.
Yeah, so all you're like kind of sitting like waiting for things. And suddenly, this voice comes out of the Doberman, kind of tinny as if through an intercom or something. All around the mulberry bush, the monkey chased the weasel. The monkey thought 'twas all in fun.
Okay.
That seems to be the end of the audio file.
Like
I fire a shot
Taka.
into the space.
Oh boy.
Taka is taking a aggressive stance now, slowly raising the blade. The guy does not emote, so you can't see the actual fear in it.
I think there's something up with your voice activation setting, because
Oh, it's not just me. Okay, I thought it might have been me. I'm like, is he
you keep
chopping
cutting
up
in and
further?
out.
Hang on. I guess Taka's in the line, cutting my sound.
You're
So,
good now?
I'm going to go over, like, I'm still going to have the sword kind of up here. I do the point down, kind of do the number.
Like Conan the Barbarian.
Yeah, kind of Conan the Barbarian, and then he'll take his other hand and kind of tap his shoulder and go, "You'll get a text." Well, anything?
All right.
I suppose not.
Yeah, other than that, you would definitely expect to be seeing a lot more active technology and wireless stuff up here. It seems pretty eerily dead. Maybe it's all locked down to prevent wireless transmissions, which, I mean, it is a secret magical research station.
Maybe one of their experiments got a little weird. There's overgrown plants, whatever. Not a big deal. I've seen
I'm gonna
plants.
switch over to astral perception and go dual natured so I can see both at the same time.
Oh yeah, there's definitely natural space here. Almost immediately once you get in past this airlock, it's almost up to almost like you're on Earth. Except
Cool.
there's weird plants around you and the weird creepy vibe, and you can sense a strange presence.
Are the plants awakened?
Some of them, most of them, maybe all of them are, yeah.
Oh.
That's not scary.
Yeah.
And as you're looking around, you see something else kind of among the plants, just inside past the airlock door hatch thing.
Something?
It looks like, as you look a little bit closer, you think there might be another aura underneath some of the plants. Like maybe there's a person underneath there.
I think I see something there, and I'm pointing for people with regular eyes to go to look at. Do you guys see anything?
I look, I follow, and I move towards it.
I mean, there's definitely kind of a lumpiness to the ground that
Taka's going to kind of take the tip of his blade and try to move some of the flora off to the side a little bit and see if he can kind of do that without damaging any of the plants.
sudden
What is
shrieks as plants burst around all over the place and forms just leap out, including right there. One just sort of leaps forward and rushes for you, impaling itself on your sword as it reaches and claws for your face. It's combat time. So normally we'd roll to see who gets initiative here, but yeah, might as well. It's 1 to 3, it's enemies. 4 to 6, it's you guys.
Oh no.
So the enemies would go. So yeah, this thing's leaping at your face, impaling itself on your sword and not seeming to mind in the process, just clawing at you.
It's like a humanoid plant?
A plantoid? A human ant.
That's right.
I think a human ant is something else.
A human centipede.
All right.
It's just a bunch
You
of
say
dry
I
ants.
think I've
That's
got
how
a
they
couple
made
of
this
human
place.
ants. They're not bad, you know.
All right, so this thing is like smacking at you, clawing at your face, doing a bunch of damage. It looks like 5 damage minus your physical soak. Keep in mind, it's a new scene, so you do have your agile defender back if you want to use that.
That on me?
But yeah, Taka, you're getting attacked. Yep, this thing, you poked at it, just leapt out at you, jump scared you. It's coming at your face, just
Ooh.
scratching you, bashing, knocking you back, just viciously assaulting you. And it looks like there's more of them. So yeah, it's 5 damage minus your soak.
5 damage minus soak. I've got the coat for 1, so that's 4.
Yep, and as I said, it's a new scene, so you do have your agile defender back.
I'm hanging on to it.
Okay, so you end up taking 4 damage as this thing is like knocking you back and scratching at you. And those of you with the clear look, and you see it looks like this is a person, but they don't look healthy, and they're just like covered in tattered rags of a jumpsuit. And there's more of them. They're kind of smeared with various slimy, goopy stuff, and they don't look healthy. As a matter of fact, it looks like there's some sort of like thorny vine thing sticking out of the back of their heads like a tumor.
Oh, jeez.
Lance zombies.
So now the way initiative works is basically go back and forth unless there's like a big numbers disparity. My side, 1 person takes a turn. Your side, 1 person takes a turn. You guys can decide as a group whoever's going to take their turn. When you get a turn, the main rule is nobody gets to go twice in a row
Makes
for
sense.
their team. So who wants to do something?
Can I go first?
Yeah,
Go right ahead.
Absolutely.
Mana ball.
There you
All
go.
you launch a
Goodness
mana
gracious.
ball down there. You can feel there's a bit more of a tug to it. It's a little bit more sluggish, but the magic is there. You're able to channel it. And would you like to catch your friend in the blast as well?
No, I'm gonna push it back behind everybody.
Good choice.
Yeah, there's your buddy Taka is pretty well like entangled with one of them, so you can catch the rest without harming him. But if you want to catch that one, you'll also hit him too.
Oh no! I'm gonna leave that one for Taka to take his revenge out on.
I mean, it did
Good.
stab itself on his sword in the process of attacking him. But
He can finish opening that thing up in a moment.
all right, so go ahead and make your spell roll.
3 hits.
Okay, so you can do extra effect, which for magic you can use that to reduce your drain by 2, or you can take an edge, or you can do some other extra effect if you want besides that default one.
I will just reduce my drain by 2.
Okay, yeah, so you expertly and efficiently channel the mana, launch the mana bolt. Normally I'd have you roll damage, but these are grunts, so they don't really have a condition monitor. You just blast
Sweet.
them and they all kind of like
Oh,
shriek and fall to the ground. Like every single one of them, their heads just like kind of bulb up a bit and just explode in several directions. They fall to the ground,
Rad.
still kind of twitching with these like little root vine looking things wiggling out the tops of the stumps of their necks.
You're not like blasting out spores or anything like that, are they?
Doesn't look like it, but I mean, it's
Hold
pretty
your
messy.
breaths.
I don't like that answer.
Putting on the space.
But the
Luckily,
strange
Taka
thing
has
is
a
you realize,
respirator.
as you realize, yeah, something you maybe like, you don't remember this place spinning or anything, but you realize it seems like you are in normal Earth gravity.
Oh.
Well, I mean, it's magic.
Sure. Yep.
Magic.
That's what's going on in Kneecap's mind. It's like, magic. Yeah, it'll do that.
Now I know I
a
said
guy
you
that can
can't
run
go
on walls.
twice in a row, but if you're a one-man faction, you do get to go twice in a row. So the enemy that's on Taka keeps trying to wail on him.
I have a rules question. So I cast Mana Ball, drain 5, got the extra effect, drain 3. Does that mean I don't have to roll to deal with drain because it's now my mage level or less?
Oh yes, you are right. Yep.
Okay.
Good call. I
Rad.
forgot
It
about
apply
that
at
rule.
that point. It's
Nice.
not where it's
So-
like it doesn't just subtract it and then subtract it and it's automatically higher. Or once it's higher, I have to roll the dice. And
Yeah, if you're a good enough mage, you can just shrug certain terrain without worrying about
Okay.
it. And this
Makes
qualifies.
all right, that's a good one.
So yeah, it looks like
Oh,
like
nice.
the thing that's attacking Taka, I'm gonna say It fails to such a degree that it impales itself and saws itself back and forth with the sword enough that it just does a bunch of damage and just kind of collapses over you and stops moving. It just starts to ooze fluids on you.
Oh,
Taco will do that super awesome samurai move, the
spinning
sling.
flick.
Yeah, it's the sling all the floor gook off of the blade, get into a ready to start slowly approaching the rest of my team, and so that we're close, and I'm trying to stand in between.
Yeah, as you're standing there to look in between them, I'm sorry you're cutting out a bit there.
Yeah.
You can see that like the rest of them are in the process of falling over and flopping and twitching as their heads have all exploded. And you're glancing over at your buddy Aggro, the mage, kind of looking at them with a satisfied expression on his face.
Yeah.
Nice.
Any of those still moving?
Technically, but not in any way that's really threatening. It's just more fight's over at this point.
Oh. So we popped the brain and then they all just...
Yeah, one of them attacked you and then your mage mana balled the rest.
Nice.
And the one that attacked you again rolled so badly that it finished itself off. This person, whatever it is or was not operating out of a sense of self-preservation.
Oh yeah, I imagine there was a lot of survival instinct going.
Not enough.
Check IDs and keep moving. Check IDs and keep moving.
Yeah, that's what you're saying. Are there like name badges on any of these planty things?
Yeah, there's some tattered remnants of jumpsuit uniform-looking things with Az Technology logos and some name tag badges. You can get some identifying. Like it looks like these were personnel who worked here, but you can't be 100% sure. But yeah, they're not dressed like test subjects necessarily. They
just
strike you as like
cursory
technicians maybe or something.
Okay, well, like just looking through, like none of them have one that says like Valerie or Elena on a tag.
No, none of them are.
Okay.
None of them are even close to that.
Okay, cool. Yeah,
but you wouldn't be able to tell by looking at them otherwise. Yeah, so you're able
so I'm
to make sure.
Tags just doesn't look like she's here.
As you're moving around, you can definitely tell that occasionally like one of the vines or roots or something kind of like seems to move a bit on its own or kind of twists. There's definitely some weird, unnatural plant moving here, though.
I'll point a finger at one of them that says, I go, cut it out. Keep moving. Yeah. Cut it out.
It like stops moving in reaction, or it seems to seemingly in reaction.
That scares me more.
Yeah, I was about to say. Roll sanity, bud.
Yeah, right.
It understands me. Oh no.
That's just raises further questions. We should get out of here as quick as we can. Let's not stay.
Let's find her.
Let's find her
and go. And yeah.
And Bob.
And she probably knows all about all of this, so she's not a nice woman.
Or something bad happened, and maybe she's hiding out trying to survive. We don't know.
We still got to find her. There's
only one way
to
to find out.
Yep. So,
let's move.
All right, you start moving through the facility, and it sort of moves into this larger room that looks kind of like a swamp. There's like pools of water and algae and these weird-looking, wrinkly tree things that they look like trees at first, but they're connected in ways that kind of make them more like these walls of wooden vegetation. And a lot of times it looks like, you look at a tree and it kind of looks like the way there's the knots and the holes, like there's like a face there. It kind of looks like that. It really looks a lot more intentional and not friendly. These faces that look like they're in like these agonized groans or screams or poses, but it's just wood.
Oh no.
Yeah, that's what I keep telling myself.
I'm still astrally perceiving all these. What do they look like in the astral space?
They're definitely awakened plants. They've got some strong life to them. You're definitely getting the sense that the dense and the awakened nature of the plant matter is definitely part of why there's magic here, but they're not ultimately the full cause of it. There's something at the center of this that is providing the energy. You've never seen anything quite like it.
This is just like the surface. These are just feeding something bigger.
Can you tell where it goes?
Yeah.
No, think trees and roots, and like it all just feeds into something bigger, but there's no real direction to it for me. Just that those things are alive and awakened and feeding into the overall mana that's here, but I don't know where it's going to.
So you say these trees have something that resembles a face, and it's very obviously facial structure.
I mean, it could be subjective, but it definitely looks very much like there's tortured souls trapped in the trees.
Are they all facing the same direction?
Not really. It seems kind of random.
Okay, so we can't use that.
I mean, there are other ways you could go further through the place. It doesn't look like you're blocked off. You can continue beyond, but yeah, this is definitely weird. There's standing water in here for one.
I was gonna say the water. Is it like just like a pond kind of water? Like it's not like bubbling away. It's not floating around. It's just like water. Like I would expect to see.
Yeah, you start investigating the water, checking it out. It seems brackish. It's got a bunch of life in it. Like looks like algae to you.
But like I toss something in, it splooshes like normal.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's only about ankle deep.
Well, it's still, it's just it's not like floating away or something. Okay.
Under it.
Magic.
Like,
we gotta find her. There's got to be something. Are you able to tap into? I'm gonna look at our robust friend here. Is there any way you can tap into any kind of systems? Something? I don't know how that stuff works. To look for, I don't know, movement somewhere, life in a traditional sense.
Surveillance systems. Yeah.
Something
It
like
mostly looks like some sort of weird living biome rather than a space station, but digging around and looking around, you can eventually find like a kind of a moss-covered terminal with a data port on it. You might be able to figure something out by plugging into that.
Yeah, I do plug in, and see what's out there.
All right, go ahead and give me a tech plus decking roll.
Okay,
It's a risky roll, so you got to plug into this thing and try to interface with the system. There's definitely some like weird stuff going on with it.
Oh yeah.
Okay, I don't think I've rolled less than 2 hits on any of my
Don't
rolls
say that out
tonight.
loud. Oh, you cursed yourself.
I have to. I want to fuck up a roll, Adam. I
So-
love fucking up rolls.
He's taking all the hits.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's a good enough roll to succeed and get either extra effect or an edge. Do you have an edge already? Because you can't get 2.
I don't have an edge because I lost it at the end of the last scene. I mean, I could just bank the. Yeah, I'll bank the edge. I haven't had edge yet.
Okay, so yes, you're able to essentially like unplug quickly enough, but there's like a weird and sudden chaotic burst of what your deck is warning you to be lethal biofeedback damage that is spiked at you. And you're able to essentially like pull out before it fries your brain completely. It does fry your brain a little though, so.
Yeah. I turn to you with my nose
Poke out of the
bleeding.
ears.
Yeah, and I just say, I don't think this is something that we can handle like this, fellers.
Okay, you take 5 damage minus any tech soak that you have.
Okay.
So not your armor that you're wearing, but I think your cyber deck might provide you with some soak for your tech damage. But-
Ooh, actually,
So yeah, like it like hits you really hard, and you're like, ah! You think you're like screaming and yammering, but the rest of you just hear like all around the mulberry bush, the monkey chased the weasel, the monkey thought it was all fun.
Oh god.
okay.
Roll sanity.
And like blood comes out of his nose, and he looks, like he just, looks like he just got hurt pretty bad, but he's not dead.
Oh, geez, fellers, that was my fucked up.
Yeah.
Yeah. No more of that.
Something's really wrong with the computers.
Yeah. I think it's just it's gonna be me and Bella. That's the only object I'm comfortable interfacing with here. And
Yeah.
Bella is the name of the Doberman.
All right. We need to get to the root of this problem.
But Tess.
Thank you.
Everyone looks at you. Just
What? That's funny.
As you're sort of like doing this and kind of recovering, checking things over, like some of you that maybe are less focused on the Decker and his plight, kind of notice there's definitely a little bit more peripheral movement going around, like little vines or roots moving here and there. Probably aggro, you're the first one to notice. Like you definitely can like sense like there's this shadow of an aura sort of pressing forward, and you can definitely see there's something approaching from like one of the passageways going off to the side. It's a massive, some sort of roiling roots in wood, from what you can tell. It's pretty dark, but you're looking at its aura, and you definitely can tell that there is something unfriendly there.
Something's
Trees.
coming, guys.
The trees, they came alive and took him.
I took him with the trees. They're in the ceiling, man. My beard.
All right, so you guys get to go first. And since you outnumber this thing 2-1, you guys get to take 2 actions to 1.
Oh,
because-
cool. Awesome. I like
But
that.
yeah, there's definitely some like weird big plant mass thing just kind of moving this way. Hard to tell what it is really. It's not something your brains has a pattern to put it to.
All right. What kind of range are we talking?
Pretty close.
Pretty close? Okay.
I mean, like you could go up to it if you wanted to and wouldn't take a special movement action or anything.
Is there an obvious body to attack?
There's a big old mass of something coming this way.
Okay.
It's a big old vegetation mass. So I will crouch down for a moment and spring forth with my tiger claw things at the ready and leap out and try to fuck this thing up. So I got my 8 dice to roll my attack. By the way, in case you're wondering, they glow in the dark.
Nice.
I got 3 hits. So that does a d6 of lethal damage, and I got a 6. Yes. And I got the what do you call it? A raise ace? What do we call this thing? Pretty good.
Do you want to take an edge or do you want to do extra effect?
I still have my edge, so I'm going to take the extra.
Okay, extra effect then. You want to like do more damage or do something else?
I would like to, if possible, like climb onto this mass. I don't know how big this is, but if it's big enough for me to like climb onto and try to kind of contain it a little bit, maybe get us one more action before it gets to go, if that's viable.
We already have 2 actions in a row.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Get a third in there before it goes, and then catch up. I guess
Yeah, I think it's kind of a big bonus. I don't think I'll allow it for like another one on this round, but it makes sense. Yeah, you sort of like leap on the thing, you start slashing away at it. You definitely do some damage. This thing's got some thick, barky or thick woody hide or something, but there's definitely some sort of like fluids or goop or something that's coming up, and it starts to thrash around, and it sounds like several different voices, high-pitched, almost human-like voices are screaming at once.
Oh no!
In like a dissonant chord of anger and pain and terror and hatred. And the thing is definitely thrashing around under you, and it's got vines moving around and some sort of like a trunk to it, almost like a tree, or it's hard to make sense of the shape, but it's not just like a clump.
Awful.
If you guys are okay, I might step in for the next action because it's support action that will make other stuff better for you guys. I'm gonna step in and I'm gonna interface with your comm links and your image links and anything I can, including Taka's cyberware. And basically, I'm doing the tactical support, so you guys will all have a +1 die for any physical or social attacks you make.
Oh,
Nice.
cool! Hell yeah!
Oh,
Should have let you go
Turtle.
first.
weed whacker.
Well, I can't go first or I
You
would
can't
fail.
go first.
You're right. You're right.
He had to take a moment to assess the situation.
Oh, geez.
I mean,
look.
at least he doesn't just stand there freaking out. He's like actually planning something.
Yeah, that's cool.
Alright.
All right.
So one more
Here
of
we
you
go.
gets to go.
You say this thing is vaguely tree-like ?
Yeah,
Like-
kind of. It's weird. It's like a tree trunk with all these vines and things, but it's not really exactly tree shaped.
I want to separate the vines from the tree. And just
Okay,
take
it's
my
a target-rich
sword.
environment.
Yeah, like turn into a human buzzsaw.
All right, you can attack the thing with your sword.
Whack that weed.
Oh, here we
Oh.
go. If
it's
I'm
at-
rolling, that means it's risky. So
It's 11 dice. this
that's
time.
11 dice indeed.
Whoa!
6 hits.
Oh boy!
Yeah, so you can either take an edge if you don't have one, or extra effect.
I'm gonna hang on to the edge because this was more of a probing attack. I don't know what kind of an effect this melee attack is actually have on my target here. Like I think I'm attacking something, but who knows?
All right, go and roll your damage.
1d6, I believe, because of the katana.
Yeah.
If you got muscle replacement, I think that adds to your melee damage too, doesn't it?
Ooh.
Or is it something else?
It does. He gets a +1, I think he said earlier.
Yeah, it
Physical.
does, doesn't it? Yeah, CQC damage. So
Yeah, you can stab harder.
1d6 +1.
Yeah, it is 1d6 plus 1. Oh, 1. Really?
2
All
points
right.
of damage.
Yeah, so you find yourself getting into like a good position, but otherwise, like your slashes are ineffective. Kind of bounces off its woody
Yeah,
hide. Or
The trunk's pretty thick.
you
guess I hit the
you
hit
probably
the
chop
trunk.
off a couple of vines, but it just doesn't seem to make any difference.
Okay.
And then it goes. The terrifying shriek amplifies, and it starts to dig into your brains. Those of you who are within melee range, go ahead and make a risky test to maintain composure. We'll make this a social test.
Chuck, you're fucked.
Yep.
Huh?
But you got edge. You can add 4 dice.
Oh,
Yeah.
Oh,
I
I
got
did.
4 extra dice.
on my
That's
You can
three
four
free
dice.
extra
edge with those
dice?
4. Yeah.
I may have to do that because it's either 6 or 2.
Yeah.
Or you can use it
Yeah.
to negate incoming damage, which is
Ooh.
the other way.
But this
This
might
is-
not be damage. This might be some kind of manipulation situation.
Yeah.
So I got on my 3 dice, I got a 5, a 6, and a 6.
Ooh.
Boom!
So you bank it an edge, you're doing an extra effect.
Still got my edge, so I gotta do the extra effect. I am going to yell, "Shut up!" and try to cover up the mouth. I don't think it's gonna do anything, but that's
yeah,
what I'm
sure.
gonna
Yeah, you just shut up, and like yeah, it's sort of like maybe it distracts, maybe it counters it some, but yeah, the shrieks kind of die down some, and nobody else has to worry about the effect. So you sort of pass for
Oh.
everybody,
Which
Oh,
is really
wow.
good because, oh my god.
and so yeah, you
Oh,
can keep
you
your
are
edge then.
welcome.
Got it.
And yeah, it's a good thing. Yeah, it's a good thing you got the crit to cover for you.
Dice. No.
I
it
love
is.
you so much, Adam. I love you
I know
so
it, baby.
much.
So, yeah, you
I
feel
know.
like you're totally gonna freak out, but then your buddy starts yelling, and it just kind of helps you break through. And rah! Before you were just gonna go run for your life or something, but yep, you're still in
Here
the
we go.
fight.
Hell yeah!
Oh.
Rip this thing up.
The rest of you can take some turns.
John and Nigger have to go.
Am I able to yell mean things and insult it socially for physical damage? Is that how
It
that
does
works?
social
Is
damage.
You
it a
could try.
sentient plant?
There is a possibility that it won't be susceptible to social attacks, or it might work. You don't really know until you try.
Sure, I'll give it a shot.
Were you present when Kneecaps was telling that one vine to,
Yes,
Shut
I was. I was present.
and then
when
all of
we-
a sudden it just went.
when we saw a vine understand human language.
Yeah, that was.
So I'll just yell at it. You're an embarrassing piece of driftwood. You look nothing like the grand oaks of yore.
Oh.
All right, go ahead and roll
Got
your,
him.
your social plus space.
Yeah, and +1 from tactical.
Oh, sick.
This is a strategic insult.
Right.
You gotta hurt it where it lives.
It's insult sword fighting.
Oh my god.
One.
I love that there's mechanics for like witty banter and like just like wearing down like your
Three
puns sir,
hit.
it cuts so deep.
Ooh, yeah, you're rolling good on this one. So
Oh,
you can
nice.
either do an extra effect or take an edge.
Extra effect. I want it to be now super depressed that it was called a piece of driftwood.
All right, go and roll your
Wilted
social damage and apply an
Okay.
extra +2.
Nice. So it's 1d6 -1 normally. So now it'll be 1d6 +1.
Hell yeah.
Oh come on.
See if this works.
Something good?
Hey,
Nice.
I thought I saw something.
Nope,
Pretty good.
nothing happened. Did something come up for you guys?
No, it's,
A pop up, but then
Yeah.
nothing, no result.
Okay, so we'll try this again, and I'll just manually add.
Oh, if you want to roll like a normal dice formula, not like Shadowrun style dice, you can do squiggly brackets. You can type like
Oh.
within squiggly brackets
Oh,
within the
the,
input field,
okay.
1d6 plus whatever.
Okay, sweet.
Oh, so it'll just give you like a value instead of a hit counter.
5 damage.
Damn.
Yep,
Nice, dude.
This
That's-
thing might kill
Sharp.
itself.
hard.
Yeah, you
Well,
like you
yeah,
find
maybe-
yourself
maybe
yelling
later.
at it. Like your buddy was just yelling at it. It was shrieking with several voices. It's sort of like died down, and yeah, you hear like another like it kind of sounds a bit like a shriek, but it's more like and it's another couple of sounds, and then it like the thing sort of like flops to the ground and starts to separate to these other vines, which start like twisting and crawling and moving away. As it does, it just sounds like there are several almost human-like distinct voices making these sounds that sound very much like sobbing.
You did
You
it. You
hurt
made it
the
for the
tree
breath.
thing's feelings.
You absolutely did.
I feel kind of bad now.
But
Why?
yeah, it looks like
Splash damage.
nothing
Social
else
special.
is stepping out to attack you at the moment.
That's awesome. I love this.
Wow.
This is awesome.
It's amazing.
All right. Well,
Now what?
let's keep moving. Let's keep moving.
Let's
Keep
check
moving.
bodies.
All right, you start heading along and you begin to explore this place. There's like one strange room after another. In one case, there's a room where there are several trees that have growing from them as fruit, fully grown metahuman limbs, like a
Oh.
leg with a foot, an arm with a hand. Looks like you could go
Just
up there and
like-
harvest an arm off and, I don't know, do what with it. They look as like if as you like moving around, it almost looks like the hands are kind of like moving the fingers a little bit.
No.
Text in group chat. No.
Would you like to get close to any of them to investigate further? Okay.
No.
Love to.
I want to get
let me
choked out by the troll arms.
let me try to teach it some special handshake. Fuck no.
I'm looking at him on the
No.
astral. I'm amazed.
So,
Thank you.
I don't have any kind of fire-based stuff here, so I'm gonna keep fucking moving.
Yeah,
This thing's gotta burn.
we should destroy the station.
Yeah.
gradually,
Yeah.
kind of maybe with aggro, you're sort of like feeling the sense of something getting closer and stronger. You kind of make your way towards what feels like must be getting close to the middle of this place. What looks like it should have once been like a big, maybe central bridge space or conference room or something. It's kind of a bigger open room. There's a lot less vegetation in here, but there's still plenty like vines dangling here, flowers growing in different, actually aesthetically pleasing patterns, almost like they were landscaped. But inside here, you can see that there is a single woman with sort of a haunted
she's
look in her
single.
eyes and like a weird vine thing sticking out of a head tumor, holding up a tray that has a single goblet on it. That it looks like it has wine or something in it, like it's red. And she looks vaguely familiar as you pull up the profile picture of Elena Valerie. That looks like it might be your target. She's wearing not tattered old clothes, but some sort of like weird, bizarre, fancy styled garment that is suggestive of roses and thorns, and looks like something you could wear to like a big fancy gala, but also it looks like it might be like kind of alive. And yeah, there's definitely some parts where her skin is dripping some blood or showing a scab from one of the thorns.
I'm not sure how we're gonna get her back.
And as you look in and take that, and you see a little bit further in, kind of at the center of the room, there's this kind of conglomeration of vines and wood that looks like it may be like like you're looking at the back of a throne or a chair.
Oh, of course.
Does anyone have a vase we can put her in to bring her back?
I've got a
Keep her on wires?
grappling. I've got a grappling gun that's got a vase with water. I finally understand. I'm like, what are we gonna? I'm like, are we gonna hit her over the head with the vase so we can? No, I get it. All right.
You hear a voice
Adam.
from speaking from the other side of the throne. All around the mulberry bush.
Can my Doberman shoot the throne?
She's the sword in his back, turns around, and just starts like pimp walking back to the ship. Like,
Oh,
nah, man,
no.
we done with this.
Yeah. No, but for real, kindly will like just like put his hands over his head and he's like shaking, like he's like scared. And then the Doberman
Yeah.
just shoots the throne.
Yeah.
Lots of shotguns,
the
lots of
Doberman like shoots the throne, like some chunks go flying off, and the song cuts off. Like you consider a mana ball, but realize that like Elena is actually pretty close to the throne there,
Pretty close.
so it might be,
Switch
a
out
little
to-
tricky.
Man, a bolt.
Put a spin on
And
it.
yeah, there's like some of that initial barrage, a little bit of smoke clearing, some wood chips flying around a bit, and Elena sort of like just kind of turns and cocks her head a bit. Doesn't look like she's really seeing you. And she's, "My prince, we have guests."
We're just passing through. Yeah.
I wonder what this will do. I'm going to attempt to control thoughts on her.
Oh,
Okay, go ahead and roll it.
Okay.
I hope there's thoughts still in there.
Just reach out and see what's going on in her head.
In Crazy Town over
I'm
there.
gonna
Oh,
spend
my.
my edge to give you 4 additional dice.
Yes. Yes. That's awesome.
There you go. And still only managed 2 hits
Yeah.
on it.
There's definitely
I'm
something
12
weird
dice.
about it. You go to cast a spell and you realize there's a couple of different thoughts you could
Ooh,
try targeting.
what-
Which one do you want?
what is-
the
in there.
one on top or the one underneath?
Oh, I'm gonna grab the top one.
Okay, you've got control of something. You don't think it's really Elena, but you think it's got control of her.
Go
go and roll your drain.
Remind it to, hey, you can leave her go. And that's just the 1d6
Yep, 1d6 minus the drain value is how
Yes,
much you take.
drain value, so I can just type slow.
Or rather, the drain value minus
roll.
1d6. I said that
And
backwards.
then if I just do this, if I do, oh wait, I need the squigglies. Squiggly. Do I need
More
spaces
sound
between
effects.
things? Aha, 1. It worked.
That's the noise the magic makes.
All right, yeah, you take a little bit of drain, but it feels like it spell's working. You got something. What are you doing with it?
Let's leave her alone.
Yeah, so Lena kind
Fuck
of
off.
jerks a bit and there's kind of reaches back, and then just grabs the back of her head and yeah, there's this as she pulls something out and then collapses.
Guys, grab her. I got
Your spell no longer has a target, by the way.
Oh.
Whatever it was isn't
Oh.
there anymore.
Was it like the
Get her.
the vine that was on her head?
She pulled
Yeah,
something out of a sore tumor thing on her head. It looks kind of viney, but
The viney thing that was sticking out of her head?
yeah, it looked like there was a hook
Okay.
on the part that came out of her head. So
Oh, what the fuck? Okay. Well, that's cool, right?
Grab her,
Fuck.
catch her, and run. Go.
Life signs.
from the other side of the throne, there's this sort of whoosh of movement. This spry figure leaps on all fours to land on top of the back of the throne to look down at you, and it's this human form, but with longer limbs. They're all sort of green and viney, but the face looks very much like a porcelain elvish face. Very,
Oh,
very hauntingly, strangely beautiful, but also it just doesn't look right on that body. But it's gives a wide grin that is suddenly too wide, and then
Shuriken.
oh my god, way too wide, and even more nope, just stop that.
Shuriken, straight in the fucking face. I'm throwing every star I've got.
Hold on, it's still the thing's turn. This is just a description of its entrance. Welcome to my domain.
He's got just enough time to get those words out of that creepy ass mouth of his.
Let's see.
I was waiting for it to be like, pop. Pop goes the weasel.
I see you disabled by Courtier here, but I was finished with her anyway. You will do as fine playthings. As he's saying this, he's there's this aura of terror and dread is being exuded from him. As he talks and speaks, he looks directly at, glances over each of you, but then locks his eyes onto Aggro. Says, You will do. It's not exactly a spell, but you can use magic or social to resist it with. I'm assuming you're going to lean to the magic.
So I can't use my counterspelling expert.
No, he's not really casting a spell so much. It's a critter
lean
power.
into magic. I don't want to. Yeah. no,
My ninja stars.
Just straight magic. And boink.
Oh,
no.
2 hit. Oh,
Yeah.
2 hit.
Yes.
The glitch isn't a thing in this.
Glitch isn't a thing in this one.
So yeah, you definitely feel a sense of a paralysis coming over you.
Ooh.
You just shut down and not move, but you rally your will force and shrug it off.
Guys, you grab her. I'll just hang with him.
And you guys can have a turn. I know you guys are outnumbered, but this is kind of a boss, so I'm not going to count it as such. So it's one of you, and then back to
1-1.
this guy.
Okay. Chuck.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
Plan has not changed. I'm surprised this guy was able to get a hold with being full to death of shuriken. Just ninja stars all up in his mouth. Just all of his bro. This man has teeth made out of shuriken.
All right, I'll
Oh.
roll to see how successful you do that.
All right, so a roll for thrown weapons, or am I just doing plus
It's a physical plus your Street Samurai archetype applies, and you've got any other bonuses for risky physical test.
Is the tech support thing still on?
It's not because I haven't
Support?
acted in this.
Okay.
No, my tactical. I have to act in the turn in the combat.
Roll 10. 6 hits.
Oh, yes!
That'll do. You want an edge or extra effect?
Extra effect. This man needs to
Hell
stop right now.
This is not a man. This
I
is
think-
something else.
I will suggest the extra effect of bypassing his soak, unless you
I
want
mean-
something else.
That shuriken is sharp enough that it should pass through that. So you say bypassing his silk. Does that mean that there's a layer on his person, and
So,
then
like,
I've shredded
how-
through that, and now we don't have to worry about that anymore? Or is
Oh,
it just
as in-
like a skin?
You won't get damage reduction against your attack.
Because like
you
you know
get
how
a
we
nice
have armor.
accurate hit.
That's his armor.
Yeah.
It won't take it
No, you're
away
just
from
taking it-
everyone's
yeah.
attacks for the rest of the fight, but this one will get through his defenses.
I will take that. And like I said, I was aiming for his. So hopefully this also kind of messes around with whatever's going on with aggro down there, because again, I am utterly baffled that this guy was able to say 3 words before ninja stars got shoved up his mouth. So
Yep, go ahead and roll your damage.
all right. I didn't see any damage codes for shuriken.
It's a D6 minus 1.
-1.
D6 minus 1. All right.
But it's a
I've got him on my my list as well.
very cool.
Sweet.
Thanks.
Thanks for doing the math for me, sir.
No problem.
D6 minus 1. Love me.
No! Oh, wait, no, it says 0 hits. Okay.
Yeah, it's just a
Was it
singular
Or was it
HP.
But then it comes
Yeah,
through
so-
soak.
yeah. Yeah.
No, good thing you bypassed the soak, because it does
Yeah.
some damage. Like sticks into the side of his face, like "Ah!" takes it out, like looks at it, and then just smiles wider.
Oh, no.
Like
Oh, no.
reaches into his mouth. And when he pulls his hand forward, it's pulling something black out. And when he finishes pulling it out, he holds out his arm, and he's holding this black shadowy sword. And he leaps forward and
Oh.
attacks.
What the fuck?
Sweet. We're getting in a sword fight, boys. All right. Who's going after?
You. He hits you, but you get an edge.
Oh, nice.
You're able to maneuver as such where he's a bit overextended, but he does do some damage, and your soak does not apply.
Quirky, weird rules question, but since he just got an edge, does that mean he can ignore damage from this next attack?
You could spend the edge on that if you want. Yeah, I guess it's,
Yeah. Like, it's an interesting story-based concept.
yeah, that's fair. It's a
Because, plus 6 is 10. I have.
Oh yeah, you have to, or you'd be down.
Yeah.
all right,
Oh,
yeah. You kind of use up all your luck there to barely avoid getting slashed, and you get the sense this being, whatever it is just kind of chuckling as it's doing it. And who wants to go next?
I
I
think
want a man. Somebody else.
I'm
man,
gonna
okay.
very quickly go. I know that, and I'm going to do tactical.
Oh, yeah.
Tactical support.
Tech
But this
support.
time, I'm gonna go defensive mode, so everyone gains 1 soak. Again, physical attack.
But I think his attack ignores soak.
Does the boss monster's attack ignore soak?
I've got the note that it bypasses most physical defenses. I think a
Oh.
tactical bonus like this would apply, though.
Magic
Okay.
lance.
Yeah, this would help where armor wouldn't.
Yeah,
Okay.
because it's like me literally like taking control of like your limbs or whatever I can just to help you. Here and there. So yeah, I'll do that. But any damage so is good. So that would be my turn. I will move mechanically. I'm gonna go hide.
Smart man.
Seems like a great plan.
I'm not very good at it.
I'm
I'm a
just gonna
very
go.
large man.
Take cover.
So the next thing, this thing holds up the shuriken in its left hand, the one that it pulled off its face.
Oh.
Kind of closes its hand around it, and kind of moves its hand around a bit, and then holds it out and drops it in a small metallic, spiky shape. Like hits the ground and stands up and begins to whir around. It looks like he's done something to your shuriken. Who wants to go next?
Oh, yeah, Scott, you go. Yeah.
Get out of my head.
I saw-
Why did
So what are you doing?
Oh, it's Manable.
right.
Manable.
A magic attack.
And magic plus 3. Bing. Do it.
Yeah, the mana bolt connects. This thing, whatever it is definitely alive, and you're definitely getting the sense that like the signature, its vibe of its aura is very much in line with the whole vibe of this place.
I imagine.
This is it. This is the thing. It's all coming from this thing. Oh,
But yeah, your mana bolt seems to have a trivial effect on it. It just like turns and you're not quite sure, but it might have just winked at you.
Yeah.
lose your little kiss.
Mana bolt. Ah, crap. I'm not focused here. I'm not focused.
All right, and at that point, the little shuriken monster launches itself up at its former daddy, tries to start cutting him to ribbons. So
I feel so betrayed now.
I'm totally imagining that being completely silver and looking like a little Chinese star. And
Oh yeah.
Oh, these
Yeah,
are tack black. So yeah.
yeah, your armor and skin protects you, but this thing's sort of like kind of like vibrating and crawling up your leg. Is doing.
Oh my god.
It's like it looks like it's trying to find purchase to burrow into you or something.
Oh, awful.
But
Awful.
you're otherwise unharmed.
Only physically am I unharmed.
Who would like to go next?
I will go. I'm going to yell, get her and go! Get her and go! I'm gonna launch myself at this awful thing. This awful, terrible thing. And I'm gonna try to. You said it's got like a mask, like a porcelain mask kind of
Well, it's got a
situation?
face that
It looks like a porcelain mask, the face.
kinda, yeah.
Ish. Okay. I'm gonna try to rip at that with my claws. And I should be able to. It's a very simple number of dice I need to roll. And here I am
Luchador leap.
trying to do math. It's not succeeding. Okay. 1, 2, 3. 3. Yes, 3. Again, I will
Alright.
do the bonus effect and ignore the. Oh my god! I do a solid point of damage with my claws.
All right, here's the thing. With the extra effect, you sort of like grab at its face. You realize it's like connected to something. Like it feels more like a head, and you end up like pulling it off. You like fall back, and you got it in your hands, and it just
The
looks
head?
up at you and says, "Ouch!" And like the body is like reaching up at the stump of a head, kind of like stumbling around a bit. It doesn't seem like this has had quite the effect decapitation normally does. Who would like to go next?
I guess I will.
Mock it.
I will start running over towards the woman while saying in a derisive tone, "You're not even proud of being a plant, so you had to be an elf? Fucking embarrassing." And then I'll just try to insult it for some damage.
Insulted for some damage.
That's all we can do here, boys.
Hurted feelings.
You know, I always thought that elves are kind
3
of the
hits.
plants of metahumanity. I don't know what that means, but
Yeah.
yeah.
So with 3 hits, I will go for extra effect, and I guess ignore its social soak.
Sounds good. It does have a social soak, though.
Okay, good. Let's see, damage. 1
Hard to hurt its
D6
feelings.
minus 1. 2 social damage.
Yeah, there's
That
like
is the most damage. You have done more damage insulting this thing than a guy grabbing its face, its head off, dude throwing shuriken at it.
yeah.
And a mana bolt.
And a mana
I
bolt.
snatched it.
And my
I
metal.
snatched its head off.
Yeah, kneecap, the face still kind of into your hands, like gasps and says, "How
Oh,
dare
it's so
you!
connected.
How dare you!" And like the body like turns toward you, like suddenly dropping any pretense of having trouble like seeing where it's going. It starts to loom toward you. "I'll have you know I am a prince of the unseelie court. You don't know what that means, but you should."
I read
Yeah,
Harry
the
Potter.
face
I know
looks
what it
really
means.
angry. It's starting to get red in color, and it's like spinning a bit, like looks like it wants to turn around and actually look at him, but it's like stuck in your hands.
The nerve of this sawed-off little runt.
Hey, you don't mean that.
And
dude.
as it does, the shuriken tries to like burrow through your pants, Taka, and try to take a bite.
No,
In your pants.
swat at this thing like one hit. Does that get absorbed by my jacket?
Based on the roll, I'm going to give it reduced effect. So yeah, it's still it runs into like it's trying to go to what might be a different spot, and it just means it has to cut through more armor. So you get the sense this thing could be really dangerous eventually, but
Yeah.
right now you're doing fine. Who would like to go next?
It's
Remember, the rule is you don't have to go total round robin. The rule is just
Okay.
nobody can go twice in a row.
It's my turn. I gotta. Oh Jesus.
Just
I
roll more
need-
than
Where's
one on
my
your
head?
damage die.
Yeah, I'm gonna squish the head. I'm gonna squish
That'd
it.
be nice.
I'm gonna squish it. I'm gonna squish this head. I'm gonna use these claws like the claws that I've got for when I'm making pulled pork.
Yes.
Hey, you know, Chuck. You got that.
I know
problem.
exactly what you're talking.
Makes me feel like Wolverine. Can I do like a re-roll thing with my edge?
You can
Yeah.
spend an edge to roll 4 more dice.
4 more dice. All right. After the fact?
Yep.
Nice.
Postage.
Yep, that's 2. That's 2. Good. Yeah.
All right,
So here we
you
go. Here we
start
go. D6.
Stabbing and slashing at this head you got in your hands.
Oh my god, it's a 1. I can't roll above a 1. It's uncanny. Unseen,
you're like-
uncanny.
You can't quite manage to get purchase on it while still holding onto it. And it's like wiggling around and like trying to bite your fingers.
Oh my god.
And
I
it's
hate
got like
this.
a really wide mouth with like several rows of sharp-looking teeth.
Oh my god, and it's just like bite. I'm trying to rip, and it's trying to eat my fingers. Like this
Yeah.
is terrible.
Yeah, and then I guess it goes and suddenly, I guess the big looming body is sort of like reaching towards with its clawed hands to try to rip apart the insulting metahuman who called it mean, who said mean words to it. So
Oh no.
Oh, is it, okay. I'm like 8 hits. Oh wait, no.
I said clawed hands, but no, it has a big fancy black shadow sword. It'll use that.
Okay.
So you do have 1 soak from the tactical thing, so you kind of dodge back a little bit, get a little electronic warning, but you do take 2 points of damage as this sword just sort of swipes itself into you. It hurts a lot. It doesn't feel like a cut. It doesn't
I
feel
like
like
it as like an electronic warning. It's like warning, you're about to get hit. Like dang.
Dodge lateral. Dodge lateral.
What does that mean? Bang.
Dodge left. Dodge left.
So yeah, there's a mad run as y'all are attempting to flee to an escape pod carrying the unconscious form of Elena, who is still alive but probably has some brain damage. Make your way to the escape pods, cutting past some of the plants, hop in, pull the lever out. You realize you still have the head with you as you're running and the body's been chasing you. As the escape pod leaves and exits the manosphere of the cloud, the head suddenly shrieks and shrivels and turns to dust. The cloud behind you, covering the space station, evaporates, but it still looks kind of like dark and lifeless behind you. You eventually are recovered and finish the job and get paid. Elena doesn't wake up. She's probably going to need some medical treatment or something, but you technically did the job, and that's the run.
Nice.
Yeah. That was not a good place to be. I will avoid that location for the rest of my days. Dude, that's Cliff, thank you so much for running that.
Self, do not return to the Sealy Court.
Yeah,
I don't want to go there.
thanks.
Fairies in space.
That was awesome.
Very
I never would have thought of fairies in space. I've never before been so unsettled by plants ever. It was fucking creepy.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you so much, everybody.
Yeah,
thank
thanks
you
so much
being
for
here.
playing.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
cool.
Oh yeah.
Thank you,
Fuck
Clive.
yeah.
I think
Fuck
this
yeah,
was
dude,
a
this
good
was-
first run for the game. There's definitely some tweaks to make
Yeah.
things better, but it worked.
Hopefully- Good. All I need is there any way for you in the rules to make my dice better? Can I get
Cheating.
above a goddamn 1 when I'm rolling damage? Everybody, thank you so much for being here. Thanks for being part of this. I had a blast. The system so far, it's good. It's fast. We were able to make characters fast, and dude, it gets the story moving. I like it. I had a lot of fun. I hope everybody else
yeah.
had fun too.
Definitely.
Kind of late.
Hell yeah. It's a little late, but that's okay.